aiming for one thing tonight. That's 5-1. They're in the way. They are in our way. So now it's personal. It's personal now. Because they want what we came here to get. We have to kill them now. So let's act like it. What time is it? Game time. Game time. Come to that. Come to that. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Come to that. Come to that. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Dominate, dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
He's been in the league 16 years. He turned 36 in May. He's brought that energy and passion for well over 200 games. Former Super Bowl MVP Ray Lewis leading the Baltimore Ravens, trying to join New England as the best in the AFC at 5-1. As we get through week 7 as they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ray Lewis once coached linebacker coach in Baltimore. Jack Del Rio went from there to the Jaguars, where this is season 9 as the head coach. They've lost 5 in a row on the hot seat here in Jacksonville. And on the opposite side, it's a family run here for the Harbaughs. Jim's doing great in San Francisco, and John's continuing his success out of the gate in his first 3+ seasons with the Ravens. The Jaguars have won the toss and deferred the option to the second half. Baltimore will receive. Our night is perfect. The temperature around 70. No rain in the forecast here in North Florida. Josh Scobie and his big leg will kick it off for the Jaguars. You saw David Reed is back to receive for the Ravens. He's battled some injury problems here. A lot of Raven fans have made the trip to North Florida. Glad you're here with us. And off we go from Jacksonville. Reed from 4 yards deep. Brought down just past the 15-yard line. As Kevin Rutland, backup DB, made the tackle. There's Joe Flacco. He started every game since he has been a Raven. 54th start. He has won 36. Low completion percentage thus far this year.
Yeah, Mike, he's already the Ravens' all-time leading passer, and his 14.4 yards per completion is the best in the NFL. Tonight, watch the Ravens. They love to attack down the field. The deep ball back in Baltimore.
And from the 16, first down, Ray Rice. For about 4 to the 20, Clint Session makes the tackle. Introduce you to the guys around Ray Rice, who we showed you at the beginning, why he's so effective at his diminutive size. Great fullback, a Pro Bowler, Vontae Leach, who was with Houston last year. Anquan Bolden, the anchor of the receiving corps. Up front, the left side, the veterans. Bryant McKinney used to be with the Vikings. Andre Gerard used to be with the Cowboys. New to this team and still getting used to what's going on. Left side's been a weakness so far. Second down, Flacco's first throw incomplete for Bolden. Rasheem Mathis with the coverage. Or the other guys over there on this Jacksonville defense. It's a try-hard group. They have done a decent job. Not a ton of big names. Matt Roth starts. Aaron Campman will be in on third down situations, that veteran. Linebacking core, Darryl Smith, longtime Jaguar. Paul Posluszny came over from Buffalo. So I already saw Rasheem Mathis. Dwight Larry, the ex-Jet, DeJuan Landry, the ex-Raven, have solidified the safety spot this year. And on 36, Flacco with 5 in the pattern. Incomplete. Mathis breaks up the pass intended for Laquan Williams. 3 and out, Baltimore.
That's back-to-back excellent coverage downs by Rasheem Mathis. They've been playing a lot of zone lately, but they're healthy at corner now. Rasheem Mathis covers Bolden on second down. That time he gloves Laquan Williams. Good start for this Jaguar defense.
Sam Cook was the first alternate for the Pro Bowl punters in the AFC last year. Mike Thomas back to receive. Jaguars peel back, set up a return. Kick is 41. Thomas from the 39 loses 2. They're well covered. We have a penalty marker down in front of the Ravens bench on the far side. First words from Carl Sheffers, our referee this evening.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Number 34 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
TJ Heath, backup DB, and that'll back up Blaine Gabbert. So here comes the guy who turned 22 9 days ago. 2 years a starter at Missouri, and he's at it for Jacksonville now.
Strong arm, athletic kid, prototype size. He's been under fire a lot this season. The key tonight is, can he handle the pressure better, because the Ravens are coming for young Blaine Gabbert tonight.
This offense has been bad. 6 games, 6 touchdowns. And this defense is, as usual, among the best in the league. So this is a huge task tonight. First play, Jones-Drew up the middle. Terrence Cody and Ray Lewis bring him down after a game of 3 for Maurice Jones-Drew, 3rd in the league, 572 rushing yards this year. Greg Jones leading the way as the fullback. Mike Sims-Walker's back there. Used to be with St. Louis, has returned now to Jacksonville after the Rams cut him. As for up front, a lot of moving pieces. Rookie Will Rackley starts in left guard. Eugene Monroe is back after missing last week, but Brad Meester, he's the one steady. Been a Jaguar for 12 years, more seasons than any other player in the brief history of this franchise. From the 31 and out of the gun, the rookie Gabbert. Jones-Drew lost the football, and it's recovered by Meester. It'll be a loss of a couple. Bernard Pollard, the safety, knocked it free.
Well, nice job right there by Gabbert, getting the ball out of his hand quickly. Against a team that likes to bring the pressure, get it out of your hand, get it to Maurice Jones-Drew in space, but he's got to wrap that football up. Here Pollard comes in and just knocks the ball out of his hand. You want to get Jones-Drew in space, but he's got to hold on to that football.
A lot of fumbles of late. Maurice Jones-Drew took care of the ball so well early on. That was his 14th fumble in the last 46 games. Bailed out by his veteran center, Meester. 3rd and 8, the Ravens bring 4, and Gabbert's throw is incomplete as Pollard was, along with Danny Gore, on the coverage. Pass intended for Jason Hill.
A lot of these Raven blitzes are simulated blitzes. Watch the look of pressure here on the right side of your screen, and when the ball is snapped, they bail out of there. They play a zone coverage. Ravens do a great job of bringing pressure and simulating pressure from a lot of different looks.
Nick Harris is a new punter. He replaced Matt Turk last week. 2nd week kicking for Harris. Lardarius Webb back deep to receive, and he catches at the 30. They're going to get a couple of yards as the coverage is very solid from Russell Allen, the linebacker. 41 the kick. Just 2 on the return, and Ray Lewis and his defense get Gabbert 3 and out to start.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Kettle Chips. Nobody likes them. They love them. And NFLShop.com. Find the perfect gift for everyone at the official store of the NFL.
Great spot, Jacksonville Beach, Ponte Vedra Beach, not too far away here from downtown Jacksonville, right on the banks of the St. Johns River at Everbank Field. Blackout lifted here tonight. They have not been blacked out at all this year or last year, although there are some empty seats and a lot of Raven fans. Flacco from the 32 steps up and throws off the hands of Anquan Bolden, and incomplete.
You know, this Raven offensive line, we said earlier, a work in progress. They brought in Bryant McKinney, the former Minnesota Viking, to play left tackle. He's like a skyscraper. He's the biggest left tackle in football. He's working himself into shape. They moved their last year's left tackle, Michael Orr, to right tackle, and Andre Gerard from the Dallas Cowboys, a 5-time Pro Bowl center, is filling in at left guard for Ben Grubbs, who's got a turf toe. Keep an eye on this left side. They're just getting to know each other.
Second down run, Jones-Drew. Going to lose a couple, and Jeremy Mincy in there on the stop.
You know, John, as you were talking about that deep pass, the fact that the offensive line not doing a good job in the pass game, now you see in the running game. Here's McKinney standing up straight. He gets no push. All of a sudden you get Mincy coming in and making a play. The offensive line has to win, dominate the line of scrimmage. McKinney does not.
And this Jaguar defense has started very slowly. They've given up opening possession touchdowns in 4 of their first 5 games. Good start for the Jags tonight.
Half a dozen DBs on the field. 3rd and a dozen. Flacco stepping up, wants to throw. It is caught. Let's see the ruling here. Out of bounds. Even though he was pushed out, Laquan Williams didn't get any feet in. That push-out rule has changed the last couple of years. You've got to get your feet in. He did not.
Well, here's a real nice job by Flacco. Only a 4-man rush. He moves outside the pocket. You got to find the space, but the ball's high. Also, the catch is not made by Williams. A low throw. He would be able to get his feet down in bounds.
Dwight Lowry did a nice job of physically pushing him out so he couldn't get that second foot down. So back-to-back 3 and outs. Sam Cook again. Mike Thomas awaits. It's a much better kick. It's 56 yards. Thomas from the 14. Albert McClellan right there to cover. Only a return of 3 yards. Back to the Baltimore defense against the rookie Gabbert when you come back. Jacksonville won the first 8 meetings between these two teams. Baltimore has come back and won 7 of the last 8. Remember, they used to be division buddies in the AFC Central from 96 to 2001 before the realignment. Second drive for Gabbert and the Jaguars, taking over at their own 17. Jones-Drew up the middle. Maurice gets 3 yards. A lot of running with the veteran as you try to support a rookie quarterback. Blaine Gabbert taken 10th overall in the 2011 draft. I mentioned he just turned 22. His Missouri record, 18-8. Jaguars moved up in the draft to get him. Some of the questions were, who did he beat in college? Did he beat big teams? And coming out of a spread offense that they ran at Missouri, Chase Daniel was the quarterback there as well. But Jacksonville liked what they saw in scouting him and went up to get him. And the future is now at the quarterback spot. Big hit by Terrell Suggs, and Ray Lewis erases Maurice Jones-Drew.
Well, Ray Lewis, he can read schemes as well as any guy to ever play the position. He's going to see the play side guard pull. He's just going to fill right off the left side and stuff Maurice Jones-Drew. The way Ray Lewis diagnoses schemes is unbelievable, and that's one of the reasons after 16 years he's playing as productive as he ever has.
Baltimore has 10 on the field and now running an 11th out there, and John Harbaugh and the Ravens are going to take a timeout. So as they change personnel for a 3rd down and attacking Gabbert, and 1 too few out there. Timeout, Baltimore. 3rd and 7 for Blaine Gabbert coming up. Jaws, what'd you think of him coming out in the draft?
Oh, Mike, I really liked him. I had Blaine Gabbert and Cam Newton as the 2 top guys, and obviously Cam Newton playing very well. But I really enjoyed being out at practice on Saturday and watching Blaine Gabbert throw the football. At the NFL, it starts with velocity and accuracy. Gabbert can do both of those things. And I've studied him in the first games he's played this season. He also has good mobility. He can move it around the pocket and extend the play. The negative is, he tends to flinch when the pressure's on him. When bodies are around him, that will improve as he gets more playing experience.
The accumulation of knowledge and experience is a powerful thing with a young quarterback. Gabbert, a little of both.
Going to spread it out here on 3rd and 7, guys. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Jones-Drew in to pick up the pressure. And they throw it quickly to the left, and is caught by Jason Hill, spinning and churning and turning, and he's right at the 1st down mark at the 27.
That's one of the things that John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens, told us he did not want to have happen, where Blaine Gabbert can get some easy completions versus the blitz to the outside. That time, good pursuit by the Raven defense. Nice effort by Hill. I think he's going to come up just short, Mike.
Just short. Just about less than a yard short. But the marker's right on the 27-yard line. The ball is inches shy of the 27. Thus no reason to measure. And on 4th and a foot, we'll have our 4th possession with a punt. And Lardarius Webb back for the Nick Harris kick. time for Harris. Very high, not very deep. Their catch called, 43-yard punt. And the Ravens will take over at their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, there was pressure on Gabbert on this throw. The blitz came to his left. Now they had the quick screen set up, and he's going to get the ball out quick, and you'll see Webb coming right in his face. Now what he's got to do is drill this ball. He falls back a little bit to his left. Obviously, when you start doing those things, the ball may just not get the velocity on it. It's a little bit throw, doesn't get there as quick, and obviously end up a yard short of getting the first down. But I like the play call. That's a good blitz beater.
6 plays, 2 yards for the Ravens to start tonight. Ray Rice up the middle for about 3, and ball came loose. And Rice, who rarely fumbles, lost it, and the Jaguars have it at the 35.
That is hard to believe. Ray Rice, 520 straight touches, no fumbles. That time they run a power play right off their left side. And you'll see the ball come out. This Jaguar defense needed to get a fumble. They have not recovered a fumble all season long. That's the first one they got all year, Mike. And this is only the 3rd possession that this Jaguar offense has started on the plus side of the 50. It is critical that Jacksonville does something with the football right now.
Extremely rare fumble, as John alluded to, for Rice. So from the 34, Jones-Drew. With a nice cutback, Maurice Jones-Drew. There's the first down of the night at the 23.
The one thing Maurice Jones-Drew possesses is vision. You've got to see the blocking schemes. You've got to see the lanes. You've got to see the outs. Here, he presses the point. There's the backside cut. He sees it beautifully, and he has the lateral agility to find that hole and get it upfield. And Maurice Jones-Drew is a finisher. Look at him finish. 4 guys to bring him down.
This is a rarity for the Jaguars. 1, to recover a fumble, and 2, to take over in the opponent's territory. And Gabbert didn't like the look he had, so he takes a timeout. His first. As the Jaguars, if you're going to pull an upset, you got to get things to go your way. Here's an opportunity. Numbers to go with how rare. Ray Rice hasn't fumbled in the last 21 touches until that one that happened a moment ago. Longest streak in Ravens history. It was the longest current streak in the NFL, and Darrell Smith got in there, got a hand on the ball, and Rasheem Mathis at the bottom gets it for Jacksonville. And now the Jaguars with the great opportunity after the first down run by Jones-Drew.
The Jaguars are spreading them out.
From the 23, it's Jones-Drew. Met immediately by Jameel McClain, who's done a nice job next to Ray Lewis in that inside backer spot.
I really want to see this Jaguar offense find their tight end, Mercedes Lewis. Pro Bowl tight end last year, had 10 touchdown pass receptions. This year he just has 10 catches. They need to get Mercedes Lewis involved in this offense, particularly as we get close to the red zone.
They paid him 5 years, $34 million, $17 million guaranteed. You got to make your investment pay off. On 2nd and 11, Gabbert is complete to Mike Thomas to the 16-yard line, 3 yards shy of the first down.
You know, one of the things Jones-Drew does as good a job of as anybody in the league. Watch him look for Bernard Pollard, the blitz and strong safety coming right off your right side of the screen. That's outstanding pickup. And you have to really be good at that to beat the Baltimore Ravens, because they will keep coming from everywhere all night.
I love the accurate throw by Gabbert. Put it on the body with a good stick throw.
It is rare that they've been in the red zone. Only 7 trips in the first 6 games until this one. Shovel pass, Jones-Drew, hit by Terrell Suggs. It's a completed pass, and it's a yard short of the first down.
Well, his nickname is T-Sizzle, and this is why.
Well, they're counting on Suggs to widen. They tried to bluff him with Mercedes Lewis. They tried to get Suggs on an influence to widen. He didn't buy that at all. And Terrell Suggs, big hit. Jack Del Rio's going for it, Mike. He goes for it more than any head coach in football.
Over his time statistically, those 4th and 1s, he has a great track record of going for it. This is 4th and 2 in field goal range.
And a Wildcat.
Curious choice. A Wildcat to Jones-Drew, who got the block, got the first down, and Jones-Drew is to the 3.
Anything goes with Jack Del Rio. You have a 5-game losing streak. And believe me, he has a lot of pride. He's won a lot of games with these Jaguars. Gutsy call. I don't know that I agree with it, but they go to a Wildcat formation. They run a counter play off the weak side, and that is excellent point of attack blocking. 1st and goal, Jaguars.
And what a block by Winery coming around the horn on the kick out. Open up a big old gash in there. 1st down for the Jaguars.
Greg Jones pushed Ray Lewis back as well. Nice job by the fullback. Momentum building for the Jaguars. 1st and goal. Here is Jones-Drew. Ball comes out. Ruled down initially. And I've got down. You can see the official come in and say just inside the 1. Still they scramble and pile.
Boy, fumbles continue to be a problem for Maurice Jones-Drew.
The Ravens sound like they're coming off the bottom of the pile with the ball. Jones-Drew is coming off. Let's see what happens here. The ball's coming out on the way down as Ed Reed slid in there, and Jameel McClain fell on it.
Ball is clearly out. Ball's clearly out.
Well, you have to know against this Baltimore Raven defense, they make a living winning the turnover battle, and twice already Jones-Drew has it on the ground.
And important to see if there was in fact a clear recovery or not.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down by contact prior to losing possession of the ball. It'll be 2nd down.
Challenge flag.
That's an easy one.
These are the kind of plays that just plague the Jacksonville Jaguars. That ball's out.
Baltimore is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact. We will review the play.
And so 2 times in the first 11 plays, Jones-Drew has fumbled, and John Harbaugh is challenged. Of fumbles here in the early going, hard-hitting first 10 minutes of this one. Carl Sheffers, the referee over as John Harbaugh has challenged this. Clearly look out to us on the first look here. And you need to have a clear recovery by the opposing team. McClain's down there, is on it, and then gets touched by a Jaguar.
That ball is already out as he's going to the ground.
Well, both teams know it. Look out on the field. The Ravens offense, the Jaguars defense, they don't even need to wait.
And here's Carl.
After review, the runner lost contact of the ball prior to touching the ground. It is a fumble. It was recovered by number 53 of the defending team. It will be Baltimore's ball, 1st and 10 at the 1-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 5:20.
Well, we talked in the beginning about how every level of defense there's a star. And in a sudden change situation, 4th down, Jones-Drew puts it on the ground for the 2nd time, and Ed Reed makes the big play for that Ravens defense.
Well, Ed Reed is the eraser of that Ravens defense. Someone may miss a tackle, and he's there to clean it up.
See if the Jaguar crowd can help this Jaguar defense backed up.
2 fumbles tonight for a guy who started his career being known for taking great care of it. From the 1, they'll start with the fullback, Vontae Leach. He gets virtually no gain as Joe Flacco tries to find some offensive rhythm here. They're backed up, but so far it hasn't been a good start offensively.
No, it hasn't. And Vontae Leach is a guy the Jaguars know very well from his days as a Houston Texan. But when you try to run between the tackles, there's a guy out there named Pot Roast, number 96, Terrence Knighton. He'll have nothing to do with the ball being run between the tackles. That time he rejected Vontae Leach.
Second and 9 from his own end zone. Flacco to Leach. He's shy of the 5 as he's taken out by Derek Cox, the cornerback who returns after missing the last 3 games with a rib injury.
You know, Vontae Leach, when he came to this team, I mean, you look at Ray Rice's yards. They come running behind Vontae Leach. He is an outstanding lead fullback. And we watch Ray Rice run. He gets on track with Leach and follows him. They've been very productive so far this season. Leach made a nice catch on the flat. Just give him a little breathing room on his 3rd down play.
Half a dozen DBs. 3rd and 7. Empty backfield. Blitz coming. Flacco got rid of it. And only a couple of yards for Torrey Smith. Rasheem Mathis the tackle. So 4 possessions, 3 3-and-outs, and a fumble. Credit the Jacksonville defense here early on.
Their cornerbacks have been outstanding. They are getting up in the faces of the Ravens wide receivers and challenging them on every snap. So far, the Ravens have not been able to shake them.
Mike Thomas, the punt returner, he needs to give the Jaguars a lift with a return.
Out of his end zone, Sam Cook. Rocket shot. Beauty. Flag down. Kick is 60 yards. 2 flags down. Mike Thomas got a great block. And Thomas takes it to the 34-yard line. But again, 2 flags, 2 separate fouls on opposite sides of the field after a 35-yard return.
This is coming back.
And the Baltimore defense has gone down toward that end to push the Jaguar offense back. And there are a whole mess of Raven fans on that Baltimore sideline in that corner of the field. The Ravens are pointing to and getting them to make some noise.
Well, this penalty will be a net of about 45 yards because Jacksonville returned that punt to the Raven 35. And watch where they start from. It's the 2nd critical special teams penalty that have really hurt this Jaguar offense. You have to be able to get field position when you have a young quarterback and an offense that's struggling.
Hey, John, I didn't see. We had a 3rd flag thrown well away from the play. We might very well have 3 different fouls for the guys to sort out.
Football is a game of field position. And when you have a punter like Sam Cook, he can flip the field for you. He boomed it. Good return by Thomas. But let's see what happens.
It's a hard one. I'm not sure if it's 2 different or 3 different fouls, but give me the numbers, guys. Carl needs a teleprompter to read this. Teleprompter, rule book, command center. He needs it all.
Well, the water's about to boil here.
Yeah. Come on.
He's got some decisions to make. That's why he's talking to Del Rio.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Face mask on the kicking team, number 54. Holding during the kick, number 29 of the receiving team. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards from the spot of the kick, where the kick ended. The face mask foul is declined by rule. 1st down, Jacksonville.
Okay.
There is no foul. Illegal block in the back.
That was the 3rd penalty they had to figure out. Got all that? Jacksonville is deep in their own territory. Timeout. And what do you know? We've got a game for the lead in the AFC West next Monday night in Kansas City, 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Arrowhead time.
Wow, how about a turnaround by those Chiefs? I'm all fired up to go to Kansas City. Start at 0-3, lose a lot of quality players, and win their next 3.
Hey, we got another interpretation with the officials.
Here we go.
Something's going on here.
Well, they needed the 90 seconds.
Right.
Now, the face mask has to be a 15-yard face mask. There are no more 5-yarders. That makes it a personal foul, and personal fouls usually supersede another flag. So if there's one on each team, and then the 3rd penalty for the push in the back was declined, it should be offsetting penalties and the option to re-kick, I think. Here's Carl.
Jacksonville has elected to take enforcement of both penalties. Those fouls offset. Fourth down will be replayed.
There you go, sports fans.
You know, somewhere we'll all get those 5 minutes in our life back. Cook's hitting boomers, but they're line drives. See if he gets more hang time on it.
Another low line drive.
53 yards. Thomas in the 40. Shaking for space. Finds it on the right side. And there goes Mike Thomas. Stiff arms Cook out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So what a huge flip because of the offsetting penalty.
That's just a great job by Mike Thomas. Watch him catch this ball right down the middle of the field. Just good open field movement by Mike Thomas. He gets a couple blocks on the outside and sets the Jacksonville Jaguars up once again with great field position. Big play by Mike Thomas. That's why they re-signed him, gave him that big contract. He's a great slot receiver, and they love him as a punt returner.
So back-to-back possessions for Jacksonville starting in Ravens territory.
And they only had 2 all year coming into this game.
Play action for the 33. Gabbert has time. Nobody open, so he tries Jones-Drew. Incomplete. Say it was a forward pass and not a backward pass.
I'm surprised he didn't take that shot right there, Ron. He had Mercedes Lewis off a play action pass. Watch Lewis release to the corner. He's going to break to the outside. I thought he had plenty of separation to throw that ball to Mercedes Lewis. And you'd like to see Jones-Drew catch the ball anyway, but I'd like to see Gabbert be a little bit more aggressive with his decisions right there on an early down play pass.
23.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, a run with Jones-Drew. 2 hands on it, trying to protect it as he gets to the 27-yard line. And a gain of a half dozen for Maurice. Ron mentioned it a moment ago. With these back-to-back possessions starting for the Jaguars in Baltimore territory, they've only had 2 possessions in the opponent's territory coming into tonight. And it's in part because they haven't turned the opposition over very much this year.
They need to convert this 3rd down.
Deji Kareem comes in as the running back for Jones-Drew. Comes Ed Reed walking down to the line. Gabbert pulls it down and gets brought down and taken pretty much out of field goal range by the all-time Ravens sack leader, Terrell Suggs.
T-Sizzle. They max protected that. They brought in Zach Potter, the tight end, to block one side, and Suggs just goes to work on Eugene Monroe, who's had shoulder problems. No chance. And it knocks you out of field goal position. Just a back-breaking sack by Terrell Suggs.
Marking at the Scobie, as we show the replay, was trying to sell Del Rio on the field goal attempt.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike.
Well, Jaws, the ball was about 3 yards farther back when first spotted, and that's why Del Rio said punt it. But then when they gave him the 36, Jack took the timeout, and they'll bring out the big kicker, Scobie.
Yeah, I was actually standing next to Scobie in pregame right about that spot, and he was making them from the 48. So they were making 58-yard field goals. So he's got the leg to make this kick.
Look at that, 60% from over 50 yards. No question he has the range to get this done. But remember, when you miss a long-range field goal like this, you give the ball to the Ravens in great field position. Jack Del Rio showing a lot of confidence in Josh Scobie.
Points so far at a premium with none on the board right now, so I think you got to take your opportunity and try to put 3 up there.
Ravens exchanging personnel. This will be a 54-yarder. They had a 55-yarder at the Jets in week 2. Straight on. 3 on the board for the Jaguars.
Boy, that's a big 3 points for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've had good field position. They've been knocking on the door. Now they get the first points of this game. That's got to give them an emotional boost. Boy, Scobie drives this one.
Scobie nailed that.
Now 16 50-plus yarders.
And the Baltimore Ravens have to wake up. They're fortunate to just be down 3 points. The fumble by Jones-Drew at the 1-yard line. Jack Del Rio showed a lot of confidence in going forward on 4th down. He shows confidence in his kicker. It's time to cover this kick now if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar. But Joe Flacco and this Raven offense got to get going, Charles.
They got to get it untracked. I agree with you, John. You got to go some first down passing, some play action. They're not running the football well. Sometimes, the running game does set up the pass game, but right now the running game's not working. Use the passing game to set up the running game. This is a deep passing attack right now with Torrey Smith, averaging 26 yards per reception. Take your shots.
Jaguars are at full strength on their kick coverage teams. They have really 2 Pro Bowlers. Kasim Osgood, number 81. Montel Owens, 24, back in the fold. Owens can run down there and wreak havoc. You see him right there, right next to the kicker. Jaguars particularly good at this.
Scobie with that big leg. He's shown on 53, 54, and 55-yard made field goals this year. He also shows on touchbacks. Not been a good start for Joe Flacco in the Raven offense.
No, it hasn't been, and Joe's been a little bit erratic early here. Throws this ball wide, of course, undercut nicely. Here another trying to get a stick throw to the right side, well covered by Mathis. Here's the pressure from Sessions on Flacco. No time to get definition of the route. You can see Joe under duress, a 4-man rush. Throws this one a little high. Not able to get the toes tapped down by Williams. So again, right now, this Ravens offense out of sync. Flacco's got to get it heated up.
Ricky Williams in the game at running back. And here goes the veteran up the middle, tripped up for 4 yards. Well, Joe Flacco in that completion percentage just a little bit above 50, which is kind of rare. Here it is by distance. Those passes thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage, well below the NFL average. About average, the balls that travel 1 to 10 yards. Below average, the intermediate throws, and the deep balls, they've hit some, but he is under the NFL average there. So it's across the board. Flacco has been below the NFL average, and it all cumes to 51% completions this year. Back with Ricky, stuffed in the hole. Clint Session made the tackle. And how about the Jaguar defense in the opening quarter?
Yeah, say what you want about the Ravens' struggles on offense. The Jaguar defense came to play tonight. Watch Clint Sessions, number 55, who came over from the Indianapolis Colts, welcome Ricky Williams to Jacksonville. This Jaguar defense was 28th in the league last year. They went out and spent $115 million on free agents. Sessions, Pusluzny, 2 new safeties. And they're hitting the Ravens right now, right in the mouth.
3rd and 7, they rush 4. Flacco's got nowhere to go. Throws it across his body, incomplete for Rice. And another 3 and out. DeJuan Landry had that coverage for Jacksonville.
Once again, a 4-man rush by the Jaguars, allowing 7 in coverage. They really collapsed the pocket on Joe Flacco. He had nowhere to go with the football. Almost made a disastrous throw late to the flat.
Sam Cook, this is his 4th punt already in the first quarter. A little more hang time on a 52-yarder. And Mike Thomas from the 25 only returns to the yard as Brendan Ayon-Badejo, an outstanding special teamer over the years with the Dolphins and the Bears and here in Baltimore.
You watch these Jaguars, everybody says they play all zone, they play cover 2, they play zone. They're playing man-to-man tonight. And Derek Cox is healthy. He's missed 3 games with a rib injury. And he says, I'll take Laquan Williams, no problem. Then on the other side, you have guys like Pusluzny. Matching shallow crosses. They're doing a great job right now locking out these Raven wide receivers. You have to credit this aggressive Jacksonville Jaguar defensive plan so far.
Back into the quarter out of Southern Illinois, Gacy Kareem, 2nd-year player who spells Jones-Drew. Gets the carry. Gets 2 yards and brings us to the end of the first quarter. Well, if there was an equation for an upset for Jacksonville, they've handled the first act of that thus far. Baltimore struggled offensively. Hey, it could be worse if Maurice Jones-Drew didn't put it on the ground twice. After 1 in Jacksonville, the Jaguars 3, the Ravens nothing on Monday Night Football. Quarter number 2 here in North Florida. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski. Sal Palantonio is with us here tonight on the sideline. Jacksonville at 1-5. They won their opener, have not won since. They did play Pittsburgh very well in the second half last week and have carried that over against the 4-1 Ravens. Deji Kareem stays in at running back. It's 2nd and 8 for Blaine Gabbert. And the rookie's throw is incomplete, intended for Jason Hill. Kerry Williams over there on the coverage. And let's get to that Baltimore defense in the corner position, which, John, is not the guys we thought would be there, but they are stepping up.
I think it's a great story. I mean, Dominic Foxworth was a starting corner. He's out. They drafted Jimmy Smith in the first round out of Colorado. I haven't seen him play corner yet. Chris Carr got a big contract to play corner. He hasn't played. This kid, Williams, has done a great job at right corner. Danny Gore, number 36, and Lardarius Webb have played fantastic for the Ravens.
Extra DB's on for 3rd and 8. Here's the pressure from Webb, from Pollard, I should say, off the corner.
Will bring pressure. They blitz about 50% of the time in passing situations. You see the pressure from Pollard right in Gabbert's face. Had nowhere to go with the football. Did the wise thing, get out of bounds, don't take the hit. But the Ravens will bring the heat. You've got to be prepared for it as a quarterback and as a receiving group. Expect a hot read.
Speaking of Reed, Ed Reed is back. And this is something John Harbaugh always has in his back pocket. Throughout Ed Reed, who has such a great ability to return and make big plays. And this punt does not happen. We have a flag before the kick.
False start, number 29, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's one of the neat things about the Ravens. You just get the feeling after visiting with John Harbaugh that Ed Reed comes to his office, knocks on the door and says, "Hey, Coach, let me have a return a punt." Ray Lewis says, "Hey, let's go sign Bryant McKinney. We'll make it work. We'll get him in shape." John Harbaugh has a great working relationship with these great veteran Raven players. Love to see Ed Reed ignite the Raven attack right here.
Penalty gives a longer field for Nick Harris. Very high kick. Reed's going to call fair catch. 47-yarder. And before the Ravens offense, Sports Center right now, here's Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thank you. The New York Daily News reporting that the NBA will be canceling at least 2 more weeks of its season. The source telling the paper that the announcement will be made by the league on Tuesday. The cancellations are expected to total at least 102 more games through November 28th, and no new talks are scheduled.
Thank you, Trey. Wonder if we'll see basketball by Christmas Day. Ravens take over at their own 31. No first downs here thus far tonight, Ron.
Mike, 13 plays, only 14 yards, 4 3-and-outs. Been awful so far.
First down, Flacco pressured, lost the football, but got it back. Jeremy Mincey, who does nothing but show up on tape, play after play, John. Almost made another one.
Really like this guy. I told you, Mike, he is really stepping up his game. Here he gets one-on-one with Ray Rice. I don't understand that one there, but that's what they've been working out. We even saw that in their defensive line room, Jaws. They got footballs hanging off the walls, and their defensive linemen come in there and slap that ball. They've been working on the tomahawks. They know how much they need a turnover. Great job by Mincey.
Love that Rushman room.
They bring pressure again. Flacco gets rid of it. Incomplete, intended for Anquan Bolden. And to no end do coaches go to try to force turnovers and get their guys in a turnover mindset.
Well, there it is. There's the Rushman meeting room right there. And that ball hangs on the wall. When they leave the room, all the guys smack that ball out of the quarterback's hand, the running back hands. Get that familiarity with knocking that ball loose, creating turnover. I know Johnny got all excited about that.
I did. Jack Del Rio, believe me, he knows what he's doing. He knows he needs a couple turnovers to really turn the tide with this football team.
3rd and 17. They rush 4 again. Flacco's got nowhere to go but a check down to Rice. And the ball squirts out. Let's see if it's ruled down or not. No, it's Jaguar ball. And it's Puslesny down there.
That's what we've been talking about. Stripping the ball. They got Ray Rice twice already. Here's a young man that hasn't fumbled the ball in over 500 attempts. It's a zone coverage. They check the ball down, and Jaguars come from everywhere. That's going to be a close call, Mike. I think he's down.
On the field, the rule of the fumble. Already had a successful challenge by Baltimore. And John Harbaugh's waiting and looking. And he throws the flag there. It's a challenge. This is their second challenge. And if they challenge this and lose it, then they don't have the ability to challenge the rest of the game because they won their first one. And if it's successful, you get just one more for the rest of the game.
Boy, from the naked eye, this one was very close.
Challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble. We'll review the play.
Take some looks at it as we're in break. Is it another turnover by Bank Field? We have a replay challenge going on. Carl Sheffer's looking as we remind you that tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. So the replay challenge going on down there on the Jaguars side of the field. John Harbaugh throwing it as Ray Rice was ruled on the field to fumble. So we need conclusive, indisputable visual evidence that he was down. And the focal point is his knee and then the motion of the ball. Look at a couple of angles here. It is very hard to tell, is his knee down at this point or is it the shadow of his leg as the ball starts to move and then squirts free?
You spend a lot of time looking at these replays, don't you, Mike?
Not as much as I'm not enjoying doing it, but needless to say, is a very close call and a critical one for a variety of reasons. Field position, remaining challenges in the game. Let's see what Carl has to say.
After review, the knee was down with control of the ball. It will be fourth down for Baltimore. Baltimore will not be charged with a timeout. It is their second successful review. They will be awarded a third review.
That's the one part of this system I can't stand. You shouldn't be just limited to one more challenge the rest of the game when you went 2 for 2 and the officials went 0 for 2.
I agree. Yeah. I've always felt they might have an official in the bullpen to come out and get some of these right.
You don't really want that, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. But you suggested it once or twice during a game, I bet.
He doesn't always mean what he says, Mike.
So Sam Cook is back out to punt again. Whatever the net on this punt is will be the value of the challenge here by Baltimore. Jacksonville would have taken over there at the 34. Bouncing kick. Thomas going to have to let it go, and he gets a good bounce for Cook. It'll be 54 yards and a takeover for Jacksonville deep in their own territory. One of the storylines coming in tonight with these teams, two unique players, small in size, listed at 5'8" and 5'7", Ray Rice and Maurice Jones-Drew, powerful backs, both taken in the second round and told throughout their careers, you're too small, don't know if you can make it at this level, Pop Warner, high school, college, and here in the NFL, but they've become all-purpose dynamic backs and done so many things for their team's success over their time in the league. But tonight they're having a hard time holding the ball. And Jones-Drew, after a series off, is back in and gets it from Gabbard at the 12. Stop near the 50. You see every Ravens going after the ball, the helmet, you name it in there.
Well, that's what happens, Mike, when you're fumbling the football. You know, the defense is highly motivated to go in there and punch it out, strip it out. They know that ball carriers are loose with the football.
You know, you run the ball between the tackles. Terrence Cody, number 62, really coming of age in his second year. I think he's Ozzie Newsome's breakout player this year. Former Alabama Crimson Tide, playing right next to Nada. Good luck getting up on Ray Lewis with those two guys protecting him.
Second and 7, Gabbard with a quick toss. That's incomplete. 28 passing yards between the quarterbacks in the first 18 minutes here tonight.
Well, these are the throws you have to hit. You know, 3-step drop, ball out. You'll see 1, 2, 3. Plant that football, drive that throw. He's kind of falling back on it. You got to drive that throw. Proper mechanics mean completions. You start wavering in your mechanics, the ball's not going where you want it to.
Gabbard's only thrown for 717 yards coming into tonight on 123 passes. Not a lot per pass attempt. 3rd and 7. Now he's pressured and sacked, brought down by Paul Kruger.
Well, this Chuck Pagano, the defensive coordinator of the Ravens, is using a lot of bodies. That time he put out his nickel pass rush. He brings in Paul Kruger to play left defensive end, and Kruger is just going to go to work against Guy Wimper, the right tackle of the Jaguars. They are rotating 6, 7 different defensive linemen, and their nickel pass rush much better than it was a year ago.
3rd sack of the night for the Baltimore defense. Here's Nick Harris again. Darius Webb's got this one. It's a 40-yard kick. Webb at the 49 returns it 4. It's another Russell Allen special teams tackle. Ray Lewis trying to keep this Baltimore defense in it as their offense has done nothing here tonight. Story of Rocky. Sylvester Stallone wrote it. Well, the inspiration for it, the extraordinary career of Chuck Webner, liquor salesman from Jersey, the Bayonne Bleeder. He fought List and he fought Ali, and his story became the inspiration to Stallone. It's The Real Rocky tomorrow night at ESPN Film at 8 Eastern Time. 12 possessions, 2 first downs tonight. Not going anywhere there. Dennis Pitta erased by Darryl Smith for a loss of 5.
Tell you what, the Jacksonville Jaguars are not playing zone. They're playing man-to-man, and they are locking out the Raven receivers. Look at Rasheed Mathis early against Bolden. Then it's Mathis again against Williams. They are challenging the Ravens. Look at Cox. He can run with Torrey Smith, and he's 6'1". And then it's Cox against Williams. There is nowhere to go for Joe Flacco. Somebody has to separate for this Raven receiving corps.
Tonight, 22 pass plays between the teams and -1 yard total. Flacco, no time, flag down. Ray Rice lost about a yard. A hold will bring this one back.
Holding, number 74, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Michael Orr. Well, this Jacksonville defense, John mentioned the poor starts this year has been a problem. But they have, for the history of this franchise, a historic start here. They haven't allowed a first down on the first 6 drives. And it's the first time in the history of the Jaguars that's happened. It's the 17th season of Jaguars football.
And that's Michael Orr's 25th penalty as a Baltimore Raven since 2009. He's been penalized as much as any man in this league.
Second and a quarter of the field. Flacco off the hands of Rice, almost intercepted by Clint Session, and the Baltimore offense looks awful right now.
Mike, you're being kind. That's now 18 plays for a grand total of 12 yards, and they are really out of sync right now. Flacco delivered the ball to Ray Rice. He can't hold on to football in the running game when he's toting the football, and he drops a pass. This Ravens offense completely out of sync, and you got to give some credit to this Jacksonville defense. They are flying around.
Flacco escapes. Chased by Aaron Campman. He runs for about 13 yards with a penalty marker down in the backfield.
They're going to take him back again.
Now they are short of the first down by 12 yards, and Carl Sheffer's looking over at Jack Del Rio.
Number 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's Oregon, and Michael Orr is having a hard time with Aaron Campman, and he's having a hard time not committing penalties. Flacco held the ball a while. I don't think you're going to see this.
Well, Joe's running for his life right now. He's trying to move around in the pocket, buy a little time. Maybe someone will open up downfield, but right now, the plaster of the secondary by the Jaguars defense has been outstanding. When Joe moves outside the pocket, no one is uncovering. And Del Rio does the wise thing. Hey, he's pushing him back.
It was 4th and 12, but he wants to flip the field with field position.
Absolutely.
So take the 3rd and 35. Don't say that very often. Screen is knocked down. It's a completion to Flacco. He can only run with it. He can't throw it. And he loses 9 yards. Plus Lesney, the tackle.
It's all Jeremy Mincy. You're going to see a stunt off the left side. Remember, Andre Gerard is a former center. And you're going to see a stunt come right off this left side. And Mincy, number 94, is going to come hard. He just beat the guard on a screen. But Jeremy Mincy has made 3 big plays for this front 4 of the Jaguars already. That's impressive defense by the Jaguars, and the Ravens are shocked.
Flacco once had a reception as a rookie, a 43-yard reception. This reception leaves his team with 4th and 43. And Cook trying to bail him out with a big punt. And Thomas from the 20. Tackle that. 26 again, former Pro Bowl special teamer Ayan Badejo. Jeremy Mincy continuing to make plays in this Jacksonville defense, erasing all efforts by Baltimore tonight. Learning experience under pressure. That's what Blaine Gabbert's going through.
Mike, it's called poise in the pocket, and it takes a long time to develop on a consistent basis. You'll see Blaine Gabbert here in the shotgun. It's going to be a little, he's going to try to get this ball out of his hand. Look around him right now. Here's the muddy pocket. Here comes bodies. You got to step up. You got to feel that pressure. You got to have your eyes downfield, not worried about self-preservation and flinching. It's a subtle move in the pocket. Let your receiver uncover. This is a young man still learning how to play the game with bodies flying around him.
Saw those passing yard numbers. The sack yards come off the yards gained. So we have a total of -8 yards passing with these teams tonight. That'll get us into plus territory. Jason Hill down the sideline. Pollard took out Ed Reed more than Hill near midfield for a first down.
How about that, Jaws? It's about time one of these Jaguar receivers step up and make a play. But watch Gabbert get hit right here. He's going to throw a strike. Is that good enough for you?
That's good enough.
Finally, a wide receiver for the Jaguars steps up and gets open for Blaine Gabbert. That's what they need, somebody on the outside to make some plays. And Jason Hill's a guy they're counting on.
And Gabbert stood in there and ripped the perfect throw. That's what you got to do.
After getting 24, pressure picked up for the moment. Gabbert throws again complete. This is Mike Sims-Walker, who was cut a couple of weeks ago by St. Louis, has returned here to Jacksonville, where he spent his first 3 years.
Now, Mike Shepard, the quarterback coach of the Jaguars, must have told Gabbert what we were talking about. Hang in that pocket, stay on that back foot, and deliver the throw. This is well done by the young man. Way back and drive that football, snap that hips. Good mechanics meet good throws.
He's shocked if the Ravens don't blitz right here.
To the top of the screen, guys, goes Cecil Shorts, the 3rd, 4th-round pick out of Mount Union. Speedster, who they say will make plays someday. Hasn't caught a ball yet. From the 38, here is Gabbert taking a shot towards Shorts. Not close.
Well, they did blitz, and Pollard came off the strong side. And again, it's Maurice Jones-Drew driving his face right into the chest of Bernard Pollard. Great pickup, and you see Ed Reed break on that ball, Jaws. Ed Reed is dangerous back there in center field. He's reading this young quarterback's eyes. Got a good jump on him that time.
Yeah, but Shorts took an inside release, and it allowed Ed to get over the top real quick. You got to keep that route wide.
Spreading out the Ravens here on 2nd down, and now get back to a run as Jones-Drew carries 4 yards. Ray Lewis with the tackle. Brandon McKinney in there as well. And a lot of chatting going on after every play. Jones-Drew talked about the challenge with Ray Lewis tonight, and he said when you play against Ray Lewis, you have to win some one-on-one plays, and he's fumbled twice already tonight.
Oh, he sees a lot of 8-man fronts, and that leaves one defender that's unblocked. And throughout Jones-Drew's career, he's made that one guy miss or he's run over him.
This game's been as bad as the Dolphins-Broncos yesterday in terms of third down conversions. The teams are 0 for 12 combined tonight. 0 for 13 as Gabbert is sacked. Pernell McPhee, the rookie out of Mississippi State, and Brendan Iambadejo.
Well, you got to trust your preparation. It's a double A gap blitz, and they're going to slide right into this, and Kareem's going to come off the edge and pick it up. I just think you have to recognize single coverage, Jaws, and let it rip to the outside. Gabbert looked tentative in the pocket that time, and once the Ravens see that, believe me, you're going to see a lot more blitzes as this game unfolds.
And the loss of yardage takes them out of field goal range. They run into Nick Harris, and a flag is down as the kick is not down back in the end zone. And it's a touchback, but Paul Kruger ran into Nick Harris. Did he rough him or run into him?
Running into the kicker, number 99, defense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
You see he ran into him, so it's only a 5, not a 15. But it gets him into field goal range with Scobie if they choose another long one.
How's that not roughing, Mike?
Great job by Harris letting that leg just hang out there. Get that contact.
I mean, that's got to be roughing the punter.
As he's ducking away from
if
he gets the plant leg, yes. So Scobie, who's already made a 54-yarder, can add to it here. Again, outstanding kicker from 50-plus. He's made all 3 this year from over 50, 16 in his career.
Wow.
So the mistake by Paul Kruger, the running into the kicker, cost the Ravens 3, and the Jaguars lead by 6.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams from Money Mutual.
The Ravens have been to the playoffs each of the last 3 years. 2 of those years they were knocked out by Pittsburgh, and they beat the Steelers 35-7 week 1. So they have a leg up on Pittsburgh, but if they lost back, and now you're back to even with Pittsburgh, except for that head-to-head tie break. How about this whole division? Everybody's 500 or above. Cleveland with the 6-3 pillow fight victory over Seattle yesterday. And the Bengals with their rookie quarterback, Andy Dalton. One of the surprise stories of the year, 4-2. You won't do it, John, so Jaws and I'll do it. Shout out to your brother, Jay Gruden. He, on the offense, Marvin Lewis. What they're doing over there in Cincinnati has surprised a lot of folks.
Bengal defense as well. Coach Zimmer done a great job.
Mike Zimmer's been a great coordinator there. 8 yards deep. It'll be brought out by David Reed. Hurdling would-be tacklers near the 30. Another flag.
David Reed returned to the 28-yard line.
So on the Ravens, it'll be their 4th penalty of the night.
During the return, holding number 54 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
You know, guys, we talk about this throughout, and you look at the struggles for this offense. This has been the side of the ball that's held back Baltimore for a good part of this decade. Not enough offense, enough games, and this is one of those games that we see way too often from these guys.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, come on, 7 drives, 6 3-and-outs, and 1 fumble loss. Think back, you know, they had a big win over Pittsburgh to open the season. They went to Tennessee and laid an egg. Right now, they're laying an egg tonight.
Ricky Williams, the back for the 15. Only 2 yards, first hit, Clint Session.
I think a big issue is going to be the offensive line and how well they gel. Watch the left side. Brian McKinney just got here. He blocks down. That leaves Mincy one-on-one with Ray Rice. That's a matchup that Mincy will win every single time. Michael Orr moved from left tackle to right tackle, and Orr has already committed 2 holding calls. So this offensive line has struggled tonight, but you have to tip your hat to this Jaguar front. They have been outstanding in the first half.
Flacco, 2nd and 8. There's a deep ball shot downfield. Incomplete. One coverage. Derek Cox step for step with Torrey Smith as they were 65 yards downfield.
I mean, Flacco unleashed a bomb, but Derek Cox in absolutely perfect position on Torrey Smith. I mean, Flacco had time to move around. Watch Torrey Smith. You see, he gets a little outside move, inside move. Now he explodes, but look at Cox. Perfect position. Read the eyes. Oh, it almost was an interception.
I know secondary coaches that'll be calling me for that video. That's a training reel coverage down by Derek Cox out of William & Mary. Welcome back from your rib injury.
3rd and 8. Bringing 5. Flacco got it out for Bolden, incomplete. Rasheed Mathis that coverage. And the Ravens still don't have a first down tonight.
Rasheed Mathis has been doing this for years. He's got a Bolden right now in bump and run coverage. Say what you want. Great coverage, challenging coverage by Mathis all night versus Bolden. The Ravens don't have a first down, Jaws.
None on their first 8 drives. That a team record. Sam Cook has 5 punts over 50 yards tonight. That one won't be, as it goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it over the 35-yard line. 48 on that kick. Sal Paolantonio's down on the sideline for us tonight. Sal?
Mike, Ray Rice is sitting on the bench by himself. He was standing on the sideline with Wilbert Montgomery, the running backs coach, wondering why he wasn't going in on 3rd down, an obvious passing down, and Ricky Williams was in the game instead.
Interesting point, Sal. Ricky was in that whole drive, and during the season they have kind of worked on a buddy system almost. When one guy needed a break, the other one came in. Rice wanted to keep Ricky involved in the game, but he's got nothing going tonight.
But on 3rd down, Ray Rice, you're receiving back. You need him on the field.
You know, Rice hasn't touched the ball since that fumble. Maurice Jones-Drew has fumbled twice. Put it on the ground again. There's a flag down. We have no indication either way from the officials. See Terrence Cody try to pull somebody off the pile as his Ravens were down there trying to get to the ball. Here's a look at it, see if he fumbled or not. Looks to be down to me. They're going to award it to the Ravens. So let's see if this will be challenged.
That's a fumble to me.
He's fumbled.
You know all about the body parts.
Ruling on the field as the ball was fumbled, recovered by the defense. Holding, number 63, offense, will be declined. First down, Baltimore.
So they rule that it's a Baltimore fumble. The late reaction you just heard was the crowd reacting to the video board as they just showed it. Jack Del Rio, the Jaguars coach, is watching it on the screen and will challenge. Wow.
Jacksonville is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble. We'll review the play.
Don't understand what's gone on with Jones-Drew tonight. Even if it's not a fumble, ball security, that's the 3rd time the ball has ended up on the ground. And remember, the Jaguars don't have that complimentary back they had a year ago. Rashad Jennings is on IR. Deji Kareem has struggled to make anything happen on the ground, but right now Jones-Drew has a problem with ball security. I've never seen this from him.
It looked like that ball may have just been sliding out. It is very close. Very, very close. We've had a bunch of close ones already.
Yeah, his elbow comes down, and then the point of the ball moves as his elbow hits the ground. I think we're both on opposite sides of this. I would rule that down. You guys are thinking fumble, but either way, Ray Rice, he's put it down on the ground. Jones-Drew 3 times here in the first half. So we did the whole sports science thing about their center of gravity, they're small, they're low to the ground.
We forgot to mention fumble.
The ball is going down to the ground, and here's what they have done tonight with their fumbles and getting nothing going offensively. Jones-Drew does have 1 run to pump the average up a little bit.
But you know, if you're coaching, you're a running back coach, you're an offensive coach, you're not happy with these balls coming out even if they are overturned. Right. You know, the running back's #1 responsibility is to take care of the ball. You control the entire organization when you have that ball in your hands, and it shouldn't come down to a challenge. And I know you agree with me on that, Jaws.
Oh, I totally agree with you, John. In fact, what's surprising is watching these running backs hit up inside with all that traffic in there and not cradling the ball with two hands, holding it in one hand, allowing defenders, to pound that ball out.
Yeah, Jones-Drew had one other game in his career where he's put it on the ground twice. He's never had a 3-fumble game, and it'll depend on what happens here with this call. And we don't mean to not credit the defenses, because the Jacksonville defense has brought a Baltimore-type effort to this game tonight, and it's contributing to these turnovers. I love what Jacksonville has done, and they've, I guess, guys, set the course you need to try to pull off an upset. Crowd involved, defense making plays.
After review, the runner had control of the ball, contacted the ground with his elbow. He is down by contact. We will enforce the holding. Number 63 offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Mike, the effect of this, too, is now what happens, running backs become tentative. We got two running backs here in Jones-Drew and Ray Rice that are explosive type backs. All of a sudden they're worried about the fumbles. All of a sudden they lose their vision, not doing the things that you normally do as a running back.
So that penalty flag on Brad Meester, the center, does get enforced, so to bring it back to a 1st and 20 situation. And not mentioned by Carl Sheffers is that Jacksonville also, like Baltimore already has, can earn a 3rd challenge here tonight.
Well, we've had 5 fumbles and 4 challenges, so you got to keep that straight. But 1st and 20, somehow, some way, the Jaguars need a positive play to try to get back into 2nd and normal. But I would not be surprised if the Ravens don't unload another blitz.
Right back to Maurice Jones-Drew. He goes left. You can see every Ravens trying to get to the ball on the way to him. Jared Johnson with the tackle. We mentioned Gabbard's the quarterback. He's being tutored through this process of learning life in the NFL by Dirk Cutter, who's the offensive coordinator here for the Jaguars.
And the Ravens, excuse me, Mike, almost daring Dirk Cutter to dial up a pass with his young quarterback. Early down, 8-man fronts. No back set right here. Jones-Drew at the bottom of your screen.
It'll be a quick drop. Get it out of your hand quick here, Blaine.
And they bring it to an inside handoff. He lost the ball again. Jaguars got the first set of hands on it, and they've recovered. And what in the world is going on with Maurice Jones-Drew here tonight?
This is just a one-back power play, Jaws. This is bad football right here.
Jones-Drew is going to find himself in the same position Ray Rice, sitting on the bench alone.
Uche Nwaneri got his hands down there first as the ball was bouncing around. If Jones-Drew gets complete control of the ball before he fumbles, then the fumble is credited to him.
Well, not a very good handoff. You got to put that right. You got to seek that ball right in the belly. Kind of, Gabbard put that up around the chin of Maurice Jones-Drew. That wasn't a clean transaction there as far as the handoff goes. Take a look at this. It's up high. Seat it right on that 3-2.
Timeout, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville takes the timeout here with 2:44 to go. And a 6-0 Jaguar lead. Mentioned the Cleveland-Seattle game. It was 6-3 yesterday with all field goals involved. And we don't mean to disparage or not give credit to Cleveland's defense, which did a good job. Seattle couldn't move the ball at all. And Cleveland had the ball for over 40 minutes in that game. Pat Shermer's doing a nice job. Has them at 500 in this division with Cincinnati and Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But we were all watching the Tebow game, the Miami-Denver game, and that game was very much like this. No first downs. Nobody could get points on the board. And you got to keep your wits about you to give yourself a shot at the end of those games.
We expected great defense from the Ravens. We thought we might get it from the Jaguars, and they have showed up defensively, limiting the Ravens to 6 yards on 22 plays.
Jones-Drew stays out there, a 5-wide look, and that ball is dropped by Jason Hill. And it's another punt.
These Jaguar fans really frustrated with this Jaguar offense. It's been stuck in the mud. This time Blaine Gabbert, another quick screen in a long yardage situation, and not good.
Ed Reed will go back, try to spark something again. He had a fair catch earlier. One more kick for Nick Harris. They brought in Matt Turk, was the punter here, but they asked Turk to be a directional kicker, something he didn't want to do, more of a hang time kicker. So they waived Turk, the veteran, brought in Harris. Ed Reed's going to let that go. He might pick it up, and he gave it away. Are you kidding me? Wow. You see who got that ball back. Ravens ball.
Ed Reed has lived dangerously throughout his career.
He has.
And this time he tries to make a scoop of a punt, and that
Ruling
is
on the field as the receiving team player did not touch the ball. First down, Baltimore.
They also ruled, if he did touch the ball, they ruled a recovery by Baltimore. So that may change Jack Del Rio's mindset of challenging or not. As you see it go by, it was very close if it touched Reed or not. And I'm sure you know, if it touches Reed and then the Jaguars recover, it's their ball. And they want Del Rio to challenge. But as mentioned, that recovery there by Baltimore was ruled on the field. So they don't go to the challenge, and a completion to Ed Dixon to the 38-yard line.
All right, now the Ravens going to go no huddle. Try to do something to change his tempo. They probably won't get a playoff. It's only about going to come to the 2-minute warning. They need something to get this offense going. It's been morbid here in this first half.
Are they aware here that we're at the 2-minute warning? They get the play, or do not get the playoff. We hit the 2-minute warning. Let's see, we have a conversation between the officials before this determination's made.
That's a 2-minute warning.
The Ravens have no points and no first downs. Toyota halftime show. Chris Berman, Adam Schefter, Chris Mortensen. Fastest 3 minutes. A little recap of the other game in Florida this weekend. The injuries in the Detroit-Atlanta game to Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, and a Ray Rice profile excerpt of a story that airs on E60 tomorrow. It's all coming up on the Toyota halftime show. Maybe the 2-minute drill will get this offense going. Maybe not.
False start, number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Andre Gerard, the guard who used to be a center with Dallas.
Well, watch it. As soon as the backfield empties out and there's no backs, Jacksonville is automatic into a blitz. And watch the left guard, number 65, flinch. Jacksonville's doing an excellent job mixing their looks up. 2nd and 9.
Mel Tucker, defensive coordinator for the Jaguars. 4-man rush coming free was Darryl Smith at Flacco, who got rid of it, incomplete.
And Flacco just had no chance. He stuck his back foot in the ground. Darryl Smith is right in his face. You are right, Mike. Mel Tucker has been all over the quarterback, Joe Flacco, with his defensive calls. You'll see right there, Darryl Smith coming off the edge. Ray Rice scats out of the backfield. It probably was a hot route by the movement of Ray Rice. Joe just couldn't get the ball to him quick enough.
This is huge right here for the Jaguars. They need a pass rush. They need to heat up John Chick, their pass rush specialist, at the top of the screen.
97 got off the ball quick. They run it with Rice. He is stopped in the middle by Posluszny. And with 1:48 left, Jacksonville has emptied out the timeout bucket here in this first half, so they can do nothing to stop it.
Paul Posluszny has been just a tackling machine, you know, for the Jaguars. John had mentioned their free agent acquisitions. Posluszny's been a perfect fit for this defense.
19 tackles last week against the Steelers. And let's see what Jacksonville has in store for Sam Cook this time. Looks like they're going to double Vice at the top of the screen and try to set up a return for Mike Thomas.
Punt number 8 on the first half for Cook. Baltimore ran max time down, and then John Harbaugh stops it with 1:10 before the delay game. Just joining us, Jacksonville has two 54-yard field goals from Josh Scobie. It's the only scoring in the game. Baltimore's offense in the first half is 25 plays, 16 yards, 0 for 8 on third down, and not one first down.
And really, the Jones-Drew fumble at the Raven 1-yard line looms huge right now. Could be a 13-0 score.
Both Maurice Jones-Drew and Ray Rice, lauded for their versatility on this team, have struggled holding the ball here tonight. Pick by Cook, 54 yards. Thomas caught it at the 9. Good initial coverage by David Reed. His speed as a kick returner there on the end makes the tackle. No timeouts for the Jaguars at their 10 with Blaine Gabbert. Baltimore only has one timeout, so they can't get the ball back by using their timeouts. Jacksonville starts the ball for the third quarter. Would you just take a knee and get out of here?
Take a knee.
Yeah.
Get in the locker room. 6-point lead. Don't do anything crazy. I'm sure John Harbaugh can't wait to get his team in the locker room. Like to be a fly on the wall and hear what he has to say. It's been an abysmal offensive performance by the Ravens in the first half.
That's what they're going to do. Just try not to pay attention to the crowd because they won't like it. But it's the right thing by Jack Del Rio.
Rowan Jones-Drew has fumbled multiple times and put it on the ground here and gets to the 16-yard line.
Stop by number 31, Bernard Pollard.
You guys fumbled a whole bunch in the first half.
They don't have another back to go to, really.
No, I know that, but you look at the math, you can't get the ball back if you're Baltimore. Why even risk it at this point, you know? That's what I don't get.
Unless you're just trying to hope he can bust one, Mike. That's the only logic there is. He's done it before.
Trying to give him confidence in the second half, John. Why don't you try that one?
Right. Huh? I agree with you.
Thanks. Baltimore will not use its timeout. And this first half is over. Second time in Ravens history that they've gone an entire first half without making a first down. Jacksonville gets the ball to start the second half. 6-0 lead, Chris Berman. Toyota halftime show now.
The Jaguar and the Raven testing each other for any sign of weakness. Powerful, fearsome, intense. But who will survive? The Jaguars versus the Ravens on Monday Night Football. They are in our way.
Well, where does it get better? Where are the answers? They had the fireworks at halftime that was in place of the lack of fireworks we had in the first half from the Jaguars and the Ravens. 6-0. We get set to start the third quarter on Monday Night Football. Mike Tirico, Ron Jaworski, John Gruden, Sal Paolantonio's on the field. From the Ravens' perspective, it's got to get better because it can't get worse.
It can't get worse. And the Ravens wide receivers not getting open. So Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, must go by design. Do some bunches, some picks, some rubs, some motions to free his receivers. Call some man-on-man formations and plays to help his wide receivers get open.
If I'm the Jaguars, I'm going to keep locking you out.
Yeah,
Charles,
I know.
because that's what they have done. They have taken the fight to the Raven offense. Now, if I'm Coach Del Rio, I'm going to go right to Maurice Jones-Drew's locker. I'm going to say, hey, you're my guy now, because he's going to have to win this game for us. Right. He's really the only threat that this Jacksonville offense has. They have to get him going to win this football game.
If you like offense, close your eyes. Here are the first half stats. We had 56 plays. We had 101 yards. 4 first downs, all by Jacksonville. Nobody converted a third down, and the ball was on the ground a lot. 5 times, changing hands twice. We had 3 challenges, and we have a second half where Baltimore will try to join New England 5-1, best records in the AFC. And Jacksonville, if they win, only 2 games behind Houston in the AFC South. Third quarter begins with a return just to the 20-yard line for Deji Kareem, and we check in with Sal Palantonio.
Mike, John Harbaugh told me going into the locker room, he said, I'm not disappointed even though we had our worst offensive performance we've ever had. He said, we're going to come out and win this game in the second half. And Jack Del Rio, coming out of the locker room, said he told his team at halftime, we can earn some respect on national TV. Let's go out and win this game and earn some respect, Mike.
You know, Jack Del Rio, Sal, on the hot seat. Wayne Weaver, the owner, said back in January, playoff team or else changes will be forthcoming. Del Rio under contract this year and next, team 1-5. Maurice Jones-Drew delivers the blow.
Ball's on the ground.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he came out at the very end. He fell right back on at the 29-yard line.
He is such a determined back. I mean, this is a great job by Jones-Drew. Unloading. Watch him squirt through this hole.
Gain of 8 yards, second down and 2.
And unload at contact.
And had that second
Ball's
hand
out.
on the ball. He got tripped up by Williams. That ball does, his right arm is on the ground. It's very close. And remember, Baltimore only has 1 challenge left for the remainder of the game. They choose not to use it. And Jones-Drew works close to a first down at the 30-yard line.
Maurice Jones-Drew on the carry.
Is that hard for a coach if you're sitting there with 1 challenge left for the entirety of a half of when do you use it?
This whole challenge thing is hard on these coaches, I'm telling you. But you have people up in the press box that are saying, hey, Jack, throw the flag. Or, hey, Coach Harbaugh, throw the flag. And you have to go with what your intelligence says up in the press box. But it would drive me crazy. I've never seen Maurice have a hard time hanging on to the ball like he has tonight.
I'd like to see Gabbert throw the ball a little more on first down. Let's see if they open it up against this base defensive look by the Ravens.
Number 10 pick in the draft, Gabbert. Gives it Jones-Drew left side. Steady diet of this for 3 yards to the 13.
Maurice Jones-Drew on the carry.
Through the problems that Maurice had in the first half.
Well, there's no question. He's not squeezing the football right there. Popped out. Meester makes the recover, fortunately for the Jaguars. Again, going over the top. You just don't see 2 hands on the football. When you get in traffic, you got to wrap the football up. It's just amazing. Maurice Jones-Drew just dropping this ball. He dropped him in the first play of the second half.
He's able to fall right back on it here in the second half, but it's still a fumble. The 3 fumbles, 1 lost, and then 1 on a challenge that he nearly lost. Suggs coming in on Gabbert. Gabbert escapes and just throws it away out of the pocket. Incomplete.
Well, Gabbert saw Ray Lewis, and he saw that 52. He probably saw Ray's eyes coming after him, and he said, hey, I'm getting rid of this football. And you see Terrell Suggs. I mean, just look at him off the ball, how quick he is. Guy Wimper never had a chance. Now Gabbert gets on the edge. He's looking for somebody. But I guarantee you, he sees Ray Lewis coming after him. He got that ball near the sideline and flicked it away.
Official stopping play here. Line judge coming over to the referee, Carl Sheffers. Just wanted to make sure that ball was marked in the proper place. There was no grounding on that play. And we're back at 3rd and 7.
Tough down for a young quarterback against this Ravens defense.
And they're doing a lot of empty 3rd down situations. Deji Kareem couldn't hold it as Bernard Pollard hit it, but a flag is thrown as Kareem got hit hard by Pollard. Was he ruled defenseless there, or was it pass interference? Let's see what this whistle is for.
Personal foul, number 31, defense. Helmet-to-helmet contact on a defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
No. Man, look at just a good.
That's football.
Man, shoulder lead
It's
tackle.
a blitz. It's a hot throw. Pollard plays it perfectly, and he runs right through the receiver. I don't blame the Ravens for being upset. That's a horrible call.
They're furious on that far sideline.
How many on that one, John? I'm all for player safety. We all are. But it is football. And that was a great play by Pollard.
The officials are seeing crowns of helmet down at all, and they seem to be throwing the calls and the flags for that. Jones-Drew got through and squirted almost to the outside, across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, he just disappears. I mean, he hides behind these offensive linemen, and you can't find him. Watch him. He's going to go to his left side. He's going to disappear behind his pulling guard, and no one knows where Maurice Jones-Drew is. He's coming out of a hat. Unbelievable. That last penalty on Bernard Pollard, I still disagree with that call, Jaws.
I'm with you, John.
Adjusting the play, Gabbert. 2nd and 6. Checks to this Jones-Drew run. Ray Lewis going right at the ball after the hit by Pollard at the 45. It'll be 33.
Well, Bernard Pollard will hit you. That time he waited on the backside. He was the 8th man in that front. He will hit you. Drew's going to start this way, and you're going to see Bernard Pollard come right off the right side. He'll throw his body in there, Jaws. He's a big hitter, always has been, out of Purdue. Spent time with the Chiefs, recently with the Texans. He's a good fit, replacing Tom Zbikowski, who's still out with a concussion.
A couple of weeks out now for Zbikowski. Manageable 3rd and 3. Haven't had a 3rd down conversion tonight. That one is caught by Jason Hill with a flag in there as well.
Well, will it be a completion or a penalty, Mike? We're going to have a 1st down.
Check if the ruling on the field was a catch.
Prior to the pass, holding number 36, defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
Take a look at the slant route. Hill against Danny Gorer.
He made the catch, got those numbers down to the football. There was some contact from Gore on the helmet, and John Harbaugh not real happy with this game's being officiated right now.
Gain of 8. This drive started at the 20. One of the better looking drives of the night. Jones drew out. Deji Kareem in the back. Gabbert throws off his back foot. There's Mercedes Lewis. He is here tonight to the 24-yard line. It's out.
Real nice job, Mike, by Blaine Gabbert. He saw the blitz pressure coming to his left. He knew he had to get the ball out of his hand. You'll see it right here. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of the football. Mercedes Lewis wide open. That's a really good job by the young quarterback, recognizing the pressure, get the ball hot out to the uncovered receiver.
Touchdown would put more pressure on a Ravens offense that had only 16 yards and no first half first down. Kareem patiently waiting for space to the 17-yard line. So a good 7-yard first down run by Deji Kareem. He was their 5th-round pick in 2010, ran for 160 yards last year.
And the Jaguars have all their big tight ends in here. Zach Potter, Mercedes Lewis, 2 tight ends. Greg Jones, a 260-pound fullback. They are saying, hey, Baltimore, we are going to run the ball at you. Impressive drive, been aided by the penalty, but they're loading up this formation on the left side with Mercedes Lewis and number 88, Zach Potter.
Second time in the red zone tonight. 9th time in the red zone all year. And it's Deji Kareem again. And Jacksonville with a physical, punishing drive.
Oh, Mike, you nailed it. They're moving Nada, Cody, all those big fellas up front. They're moving Lewis, McClain. You don't see this too often, but, boy, they're moving the pile against this Ravens defense. Coming off the ball like road graders.
These are no-nonsense runs now. These aren't misdirection, gimmick runs. These are old-fashioned, pound-the-ball-at-you runs, and the Jaguars have been good at this throughout Jack Del Rio's tenure here, and Jones-Drew is checked back into the game.
I want to re-emphasize that. Coming into tonight, 6 games, there were 3 touchdowns on 7 red zone possessions. Gabbert, play pass over the top, incomplete. Coverage by Kerry Williams. as we try to hit Lewis in the end zone.
Well, I love the play call, but this ball has to be rifled in there and out in front of the receiver. You'll see it right here. Good play action. You're going to try to hold those safeties, and this is a route that just stick it in there.
Well,
Snap that head around slightly behind.
Good play selection by Dirk Cutter. They fooled Ed Reed. He rotated into the flat. They had the right play called.
Jason Hill was the intended receiver. He's caught a touchdown the last couple of games for Jacksonville. It's the opening drive of the second half. Jones drew right. Terrence Cody's helmet came off as Maurice got down to the 7-yard line.
And I know you hate that word conservative, but a field goal looms very large right here based on the performance of this Raven offense, Jaws.
Well, no question. I mean, I don't think you'll see the Jaguars do anything crazy here. They may smash it up in there again like they've been doing it, but the way the Ravens have moved the football, you take your 3 right here.
Look at that. Terrence Cody, you saw his helmet come off. He got cut along the way there, so Cody comes off the field. Second-year man who mentioned at Alabama. Lost a bunch of weight. Been a starter all year, impact guy. That helmet comes off, and all those heads and bodies and face masks in there. He gets cut on the forehead. 3rd and 5. Way 13 of the drive is a run by Deji Kareem. And a gain of a half a yard. And John, you were on that point of being conservative there. And a flag comes in on the after the play. Pushing, shoving, and let's see if it's offsetting or goes one way. Jared Johnson and Ayam Badejo were right around the scuffle. 51's Brendan Ayam Badejo. That's a big call here because a personal foul against the Ravens would be an automatic first down. And 1st and goal. He was pushing with Guy Wimper. Flag wasn't thrown to that point. And the flag from farther out came there.
Personal foul, number 51, defense, for punching an opponent in the face mask. That player has been ejected.
Whoa. Whoa, so Ayam Badejo.
Will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Huge special teams guy for the Ravens.
Well, he's their nickel linebacker as well. He's a big loss. Very foolish penalty. Watch what happens here late.
That Wimper had put up his hand in his face gear first, and then Ayam Badejo came back with what looked to be the punch there, and thus the flag was thrown. So he's ejected.
Boy, they had stopped him on 3rd down and forced a field goal attempt.
Look at these Jaguars in the huddle, Jaws. They are excited. This has become a very physical 3rd quarter. There's been some penalties that have certainly aided this drive, but a touchdown here for Jacksonville would be huge. And heavy personnel in the game right now.
They've loaded up the big guys. This is what they want right now. This is they want to impose their will on that Ravens defense. Let's see if they can do it.
Drive that's taken half the quarter. Jones-Drew tries to get to the corner. Not getting there. Suggs swings us around there to make the play. So that's a key play, not just the first down, but also the ejection of Ayam Badejo. There's Guy Wimper, 68. He has the hand up, battling with Ayam Badejo. As they're scuffling. See that right hand to the face gear first. Got under Ayam Badejo's skin, and then he came with the overhand right. And Carl Sheffers, the referee, threw the flag and called the ejection. Heard it 8,000 times. They get the second guy all the time.
You have to keep your composure in those situations.
Second and goal. Play action. Gabbert. Pressure. Put it up. Jones couldn't bring it down. Greg Jones trying to make a play in the end zone. It's 3rd and goal.
And there was pressure from Terrell Suggs coming off Gabbert's left side. Forced him to put a little air under that ball. Had to throw it a little sooner than he probably would have liked before that play defined itself. You'll see it right here. Jones goes up. Almost made a tremendous one-handed catch.
2 receivers in the same area.
Three receivers right. Mercedes Lewis, the Pro Bowler, who caught 10 touchdowns last year, is on the left side, now joined by Mike Sims-Walker. Gabbard looking for Lewis. Couldn't bring it in. Bernard Pollard covers him.
Wow. Suggs does an excellent job for the Ravens, bumping off Jones-Drew in the flat, who would have been open. But look at Mercedes Lewis. This is a catch I think Mercedes needs to make. He's going to run a corner route. Ball's going to be snapped. 6'6", back pylon in the end zone. He's got to elevate, make this catch. He's got to go up strong and get that football.
10 touchdown receptions a year ago. So far, a big goose egg this year. He didn't make that one.
Scobie, 254-yarders. This is 22 yards. So those of you who just may have flipped over, Jacksonville took the opening kickoff of the second half. They go down the field 17 plays, 76 yards, 8.5 minutes. Lewis should have had that for a touchdown. Instead, it's a field goal and a 9-point lead.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Battlefield 3. Available October 25th, rated mature. And NFL.com/mobile. Learn more about NFL's mobile offerings at NFL.com/mobile.
Some of the images of Jacksonville. You saw the 17th green at the CPC.
I saw your ball on the green.
First time ever.
Yeah.
First time.
You missed a 2-footer for par.
Great to be out.
It was wonderful.
Yes, great to be out there. We'll be back here in December to see the Jaguars take on San Diego. Chuck Pagano and the Ravens defense has allowed only 9 points, but a long 17-play drive to start the second half. And all the way through the end zone, the Scobie kickoff. Joe Flacco and the Ravens offense. 38.5 minutes. No first downs. Can they find something to start the third? First half, 25 plays, only 16 yards for the Baltimore Ravens offense. Guys, it's the lowest yard total in a first half for an NFL team since the last game of 2009. Flacco inaccurate. Rice putting it on the ground. Good coverage by Jacksonville's defense and great intensity as well. That last game of 09 was Cincinnati and the Jets, and Cincinnati, remember, had nothing to play for. They were going to play the Jets the very next week in the playoffs. Baltimore's got a lot to play for and has done nothing. Ray Rice, a carry of 2. Darryl Smith with the tackle.
Darryl Smith, all-time leading tackler in Jaguar history. This is personal. I don't remember the Jaguars losing 6 games in a row, Mike, since their first year as a franchise. And believe me, that young man has a lot of pride and will not tolerate another loss tonight.
Second and 8. Flacco throws. Mathis challenges it, but Bolden uses his strong hands to pull it away. And it'll be third and about a yard.
And every throw is being challenged tonight by this Jaguars secondary. The press coverage, people in the wide receiver's face. Bolden, Mathis, not much separation, but just a stick throw by Flacco. Bolden able to haul it in. Nothing's easy for the Ravens.
Quick count, Rice right. First down of the night for Baltimore as Ray Rice gets to the 41-yard line.
That's the first mistake I've seen the Jaguars make on defense. They weren't ready. Watch the right side. The Jaguars aren't ready. They snap the ball before they're ready, and Ray Rice hurts them on the outside with their first down of the night.
Yeah, but what a call by Flacco going to the quick count, John. Good timing to use that.
Now can you build on it? Torrey Smith, the rookie, in motion. Flacco stepping up and throwing for Bolden. Did he bring that in? Hit the ground. Incomplete. Bolden had a hand on it. Tried to bring it in on the way down, but it hit the ground.
Watch the fullback Leach pick up Sessions on a blitz. Almost a great catch by Bolden, but the blitz pickup is fierce. Watch this. Good help from Ray Rice. Jacksonville's blitzed more tonight, I think, than I've seen them blitz in the last 2 or 3 games.
There you see the very last second, it comes down on the ground. Flacco fires. That one is caught Ed Dixon, the tight end. Couple shy of the first down. Ed Dixon, Dennis Pitta. The 2 picks last year in the draft, trying to replace the franchise record holder in receptions and touchdowns, Todd Heap.
Well, good job by Flacco using the tight end. His wide receivers are struggling to get any separation. Start using Ed Dixon, national linebacker. That's a good matchup, or normally a good matchup for a tight end working to the outside.
Play clock is down at 12. Ravens are just getting everybody in the huddle, and they're going to have to burn a timeout. Not a good night for Baltimore on offense. There's still time. Starting solid finishing defense tonight. It was a great start, aided by a really poor Baltimore offensive effort. 3rd and 2 for the Ravens. Well, we had a move on the left side by Matt Roth of the Jaguars, responded to by the Ravens. Did he get him while he was still in the neutral zone?
Neutral zone infraction. Number 90, defense. His movement into the neutral zone caused a reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty. That yardage results in a first down.
The offensive lineman had figured this rule out.
Yes.
If the defensive lineman jumps, all you have to do is set like you're pass blocking, and you'll get that call every time. Nice work by Michael Orr that time, the right tackle of the Ravens. Big first down.
Second time for the Ravens in Jaguars territory. Last time they got in there, they got backed up to 4th and 43. Ray Rice got a Bolden block on the edge. Trying to find some yards to the 42-yard line. Calling the plays. Now 4th year as the offensive coordinator, Cam Cameron. Got a lot of plays on that IHOP menu. Hasn't found many that work tonight.
No, he's really got to get something going with this offense, and I think they got to use more motion. You know, the receivers are getting jammed at the line of scrimmage. They got to use some more of those bunch formations so they can get those picks and those rubs that help wide receivers get open. A lot of responsibility on Cam Newton right now to get this offense going.
Cam Newton?
Cam Cameron.
Cam Cameron. I'm thinking of the quarterback that's lighting it up.
You're just trying to find some offense somewhere in your mind. Flacco stumbled back, found Bolden with a flag down. It's Bolden down at the 28-yard line. This flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. I think the Jags were offside.
Offside, number 55, defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
Yeah, they get Sessions blitzing that time, but that's an excellent job by Cam Cameron. He gets Anquan Bolden one-on-one against the linebacker Darryl Smith. Nice drive by the Baltimore Raven offense.
Flacco takes a shot downfield. Trying to get it to Torrey Smith, who got tangled with Rasheem Mathis. Incomplete.
This Rasheem Mathis, he told us yesterday, I love to play man-to-man. He's had to play a lot of zone the last couple weeks because of the injuries to Derek Cox. But he's a big corner that can press you. And Torrey Smith has a 26-yard average on his 9 receptions. And between Mathis and Cox, so far they've shut Smith out.
Second and 10. This is just the second drive of this third quarter. Rice searching for space. Only a half yard.
Yeah, and the problem, the wide receivers for the Ravens have really struggled. They just can't get any separation, particularly on the third down, critical situations. If you're Flacco, look at what you see. Everybody covered. There's no space between the secondary linebackers and your receivers. Covered, covered, covered. Nowhere to go with the football. Just an outstanding job of sticking and staying by the Jacksonville secondary and linebackers. Beautifully executed pass coverage.
Play clock at 5. They're 0 for 7 on 3rd and 7 or more tonight. Flacco fakes right, look out! Right on him, Dwight Lowry, sack.
I think Lowry's covering the tight end block. That's what you call a green dog. If the guy you're covering blocks, you're free to blitz, and that's exactly what Lowry did. I bet he learned that in his days playing for Rex Ryan. Lowry's going to blitz. You're going to see the tight end block at the bottom of the screen. Lowry's going to come up to cover the tight end. When he sees him block, he's going to fire away.
Field goal attempt coming, 52 yards. Billy Cundiff, All-Pro last year. Missed both of his 50-plus attempts this year. Missed that one. Missed the net. So far right. No good. Like the Ravens offense all night. Defense tonight, there's their coordinator Mel Tucker up in the press box.
Great job. You know what a green dog is when you're covering the tight end and that tight end blocks, you have a green light to blitz, and that's just what Dwight Lowry did. As soon as Dixon stayed in and blocked, Lowry said, hello, Flacco, you're out of field goal range. Great call by Mel Tucker, well executed by Lowry, who's been an excellent free agent acquisition from the Jets. Actually, they traded to get Lowry from the Jets. I can see why.
And John, great coverage in secondary allowed that to happen.
Back to the Jaguar offense, a long 17-play, 8.5-minute drive led to a field goal to start this half. A yard gain for Maurice Jones-Drew. So guys, here we are, 90 seconds in the third. Jacksonville leads 9-0. This has been a very poor game if you're not emotionally attached to either team. But you kind of take a step back and you appreciate the job Jacksonville's done on defense and the reality that this Baltimore team, which thought they were among the best in the AFC, has not looked it at all tonight against a 1-5 team on the road.
Yeah, but Jacksonville's defense has played pretty darn good all season long. We've been enamored with all these passing numbers. Maybe it's good to see a little defense once in a while.
Jones-Drew left, bounces off one tackle. Ray Lewis pulls him back right at the first down line at the 48.
Yeah, but look at this Jacksonville offense. I mean, just get in their huddle. They have a rookie quarterback. There was a lockout. He just took over 4 weeks ago. The right tackle's Guy Wimper because Evan Britton's out of the game. The left tackle, Monroe's been hurt with his shoulder most of this season. The left guard is Will Rackley, a rookie out of Lehigh. There's a lot of young guys. They just traded to get Mike Sims Walker back as a wide receiver. This is not the most talented offensive football team in the league, but they are fighting tonight.
3rd and 1. Could be the last play of the quarter. Gabbert trying to sneak it in there. And he pushes the pile. It's a first down. Jacksonville's got a fresh set of downs as the quarter comes to an end.
Well, when you're 6'4", 234 pounds, just take that thing and gain a half a yard. Gabbert did it.
End of 3. A shocker. Jacksonville 9-0. Think we're going to get some first downs and some passing yards out of Castle and Rivers on Halloween night?
I hope so.
The Chiefs, if they win, it'll be a 3-way tie atop the AFC West, which I don't think anybody was looking at when Kansas City opened 0-3. The Chargers lose to the Jets yesterday. Chiefs win in Oakland. Sets up a good one. Halloween night. Bring your best costume to Arrowhead. The barbecue's already going in the parking lot. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central Time. Monday Night Football from Kansas City. Quarter 4 here in Jacksonville with John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Sal Palantonio on the sideline, Mike Tirico. Jaguars trying to stop a 5-game losing streak. First down run, Maurice Jones-Drew. He's had fumble problems on the night, closing in on 100 yards. He's over 90 now. With that first down carry down to the 44.
You know, Jacksonville runs the ball on first down more than any team in the league, and the Ravens know it. Watch Ed Reed. He's going to blitz right off the left side of the formation. Here he comes, trying to get an 8-man front to stop Maurice Jones-Drew. Greg Jones kicks him out. And they're close. If you break one of these runs against an 8-man front, it's a house call.
Jones-Drew goes right. Ray Lewis gets a hand on him first and makes the tackle. You know, guys, Ray Lewis, 16 years in the league. He turned 36. As you go through all the stats and all the numbers out there, the one that jumped out at me, Ray Lewis hasn't been off the field for a snap through the first part of this season. He's still out there playing 98, 99, 100% of the game for the Ravens.
Missed 5 snaps last year.
Right, exactly.
I mean, this guy is unbelievable. He set a culture. He put a culture in place for the Baltimore Ravens 16 years ago. You run and you hit and you give everything you have.
Third and 5. Webb comes off the corner. Gabbert's slant is incomplete. Ray Lewis may have gotten a piece of that intended for Mike Sims-Walker.
Well, the Ravens were going to bring the pressure. They were going to bring everything. They were going to match up one-on-one everywhere else. Looks like they may have got a hand up and deflected that ball out of Blaine Gabbert trying to hit the slant. But you know the Baltimore Ravens, they blitz about 50% of the time. So you get in a crunch situation like that, you got to figure they're coming, and they did.
Kick 6 for Nick Harris tonight. Try to pin the Ravens back inside their 10 with the end-over-end tumbler. Gonna do it. Got to make sure they pull Clint Session back at the 1. 99 yards to go for an offense that has 57 yards in 3 quarters. Back in Duval County here in Jacksonville, Florida. You know, this is a franchise and a team that is maligned. It's always talked about as, well, are you going to sell it out week after week? Are you going to move? Will this be the team that goes to L.A.? Rarely do they get the national stage. They play in the anonymity that is the AFC South. Their night on the stage, the defense has played very well, and now their fans support to try to help them stop the Ravens, who have to go 99 yards. Play action out of the end zone. Flacco almost stepped out of the back of the end zone, takes the shot for Torrey Smith, and a flag is down as the contact is made with Dwight Lowry. Flacco came so close to a safety and stepping out of the back of the end zone as he rolled out.
Well, he threw that ball about 60 yards, and it wasn't enough. It was an underthrow, and you get the pass interference call. You'll see Joe off the play action. Check out his plant
Pass
foot.
interference, number 25. Defense not playing the ball in contact with the receiver. Automatic. First down.
Joe was inches from stepping on the back of the end zone. Would have been a safety, but there's the underthrow, and you get the pass interference call.
He almost pulled a Dan Orlovsky, who did that with Detroit in Minnesota and stepped out of the back of the end zone. Is that real challenging this? It looked pretty clear to me that he was in, wasn't it?
I wouldn't challenge it. They're showing the monitor here at the stadium, and I think Jack better save that flag.
Jacksonville is challenging that the quarterback stepped on the end line prior to passing the ball.
We had a very clear look at this going to break, and here's another look at it. I don't see him stepping out, and they get this feed upstairs. So if they call down and told him to challenge that, that's a terrible decision, because now you're going to be out of challenges. Timeout. Bill, and our aerial coverage tonight from Everbank Field is brought to you by DirecTV. Poor challenge decision here by the Jaguars that they're going to lose. Here's Carl Sheffers.
After review, the quarterbacks remained in bounds prior to throwing the pass. The play on the field is confirmed. Jacksonville is charged with their second timeout, and because it is their second challenge and it was unsuccessful, they have no remaining challenges.
And those are the reasons why that's an awful challenge. Now, the monitors here in this stadium are not like the brand new stadiums in Dallas or in the Meadowlands, the state-of-the-art HD screens. You heard the fans angrily react to Carl Sheffers. It's because from far away on these screens, it's hard to tell. There you see the screen. But there's a feed in the coach's box of the same thing you saw in the first replay. Should have clearly given you the idea that was not a challenge. So they gained 50 on the penalty, and they had 57 on offense the whole game. Ray Rice screen, loss of 4. Terrence Knighton. Hot Roast is nicknamed.
Man, Pot Roast, I tell you, he's a big old fella and did an outstanding job of reading the screen. You'll have a defensive lineman reading what the offensive linemen are doing. You head upfield, all of a sudden you feel them slipping out, you follow the play. That's an outstanding instinctive move by a big old defensive tackle out of Temple University. Love that Pot Roast.
Nickname given to him by former teammate Clint Ingram. 5 receivers, 4-man rush. Flacco deflected into the hands of Ed Dixon. Flag down as he got back to where this set of plays down started. Baltimore penalized 7 times tonight.
Illegal formation, offense. An eligible receiver was covered on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Just been inexcusable self-inflicted wounds by the Ravens tonight. The most simplistic of things you have to do, line up properly. They're not doing properly.
Didn't see this coming from a Baltimore offense that scored 35, 37, 34, and 29. And they played the Steelers, the Jets, the Texans among the teams in that stretch. Second and 19, nowhere to go except down. Darryl Smith.
Darryl Smith is an excellent football player. He just ran right over Ray Rice. Ray Rice has been out of sorts tonight, but here's a blitz. One-on-one, Ray Rice and Darryl Smith. You tell me what you think. You know, I said something earlier, Jaws, to you on the bus about a trap game.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you've won 3 home games in a row. Remember, they beat the Steelers, they beat the Jets, they beat some really good teams, Houston, in Baltimore. They have not proven they're an outstanding road team yet. Tonight's another case of that.
3rd and 31. Flacco. Bolden. Only get 12 of it back. It'll be 4th down.
That's DeJuan Landry, number 26, and he's a former Baltimore Raven. He spent 5 solid years wearing that Raven sticker. And this game, you could tell just by visiting with him, Mike, meant a lot to him. Great stop right there after the sudden change penalty by the Jaguar defense.
Stays in touch with Ed Reed. Signed a contract here, free agency contract. Guaranteed him $10 million for a 5-year deal. Sam Cook. .56 the kick, 36 the net. We have 2 flags thrown back behind the play.
During the kick, holding number 50 of the return team. That penalty will be enforced at the end of the play. Timeout.
Russell Allen's made some special teams tackles. He's flagged there. He's part of a Jacksonville defense that has been outstanding tonight and really made the Ravens offense look poor. 9-0 Jags. Pictures in front of the scoreboard and those corners that are empty. Extra seats they put in for the Florida-Georgia game, which will be played here on Saturday. First down run with Deji Kareem. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. They put tarps up and cover some of the seats here in Everbank Field to bring the capacity down to 67,000. That's how they can reach a sellout on a regular basis, a more regular basis. And they do not have the fan base right now to support and fill 80,000 seats in this stadium, but Florida and Georgia play and all the fans come from both sides. This place will be rocking all week.
I think Jacksonville's going to continue to be conservative with this 9-point lead. Rookie quarterback backed up.
This is 2nd and 10. Gabbert will throw here. Caught by Hill. Jason Hill to the 35-yard line.
So much for conservatism.
That's the same play they ran in the red zone earlier. It's a weak side fake, and they're hoping to get the safety to come down and throw the ball right in behind his head. What a great throw by Blaine Gabbert to Jason Hill for a huge first down that allows the Jaguars to possess the ball and run this clock.
And how about the play call? You got to give some love to Dirk Cutter. Reaching down in the toolbox, come up with that one. Put the pressure on your quarterback and Jason Hill to make a play, and they did.
He equals the longest completion, or gain, I should say, of the night. With Kasim Osgood in there to block. Deji Kareem runs towards that direction and gains 5 to the 39. Now the clock becomes a factor with 9 minutes remaining in regulation.
You know, Kasim Osgood, the former San Diego Charger, is like a stunt man. They use him and his big body on the backside of a lot of these zone blocking plays, and he can block defensive ends, linebackers, former Pro Bowl special teams player. He's had some injuries. First time I've seen him in a while, but when you have a 6'5", 225-pound flanker, that's a weapon running the football, and they've missed him.
It's the last 4 games with hamstring injury. Montel Owens in the game in front of Deji Kareem. And Kareem pinballs off the first hit, bounces to the outside, gets a first down, and tries to stay in bounds. He couldn't at the 48, but a first down with 8:14 to go. And Ed Reed got hurt on that play. Yeah, along with Terrence Cody. They are both shaken up on that one. Ed made that initial pursuit there.
Ed Reed blitzed off the weak side. Osgood couldn't get him. And there's a collision.
Ed, who's had that impingement with the neck that has been a problem over the last couple of years as we hit a timeout. Ed Reed just getting up now and getting a warm reception, not just from the Raven fans, but the Jacksonville fans as well. A great play over the years, so respected around the league as he gets pinched there in the combination of blockers, including Guy Wimper, and he goes down. Remember, Reed missed the first 6 games last year with a neck impingement. Related to that was a hip injury. He still came back and led the league in interceptions. But he's talked about that concern and how much time he'd have to miss, and he doesn't want to be the guy who has to come with neck surgery after neck surgery to keep playing. For now, he goes out, and Haruki Nakamura replaces him.
Jags using all this clock inside of 7 seconds.
It's another long drive. This one started at their own 10 as Maurice Jones-Drew takes it near midfield with 7.5 to go.
None of these runs have been pretty. You know, they're just kind of a man on a man, you know, a mosh pit style. There's not a whole lot of misdirection, just bang it up inside.
And play clock down to 20 as the Jaguars huddle here. And Gabbard asks for the play one more time. Remember that communication from the sideline, the play caller into the quarterback's helmet shuts off at 15.
You better hurry up.
With the play off, the blitz coming from the back end. Jones-Drew carries Jarrett Johnson to the 45. 3 yards shy of a first down, and with 6:53 left, huge third down coming up. Here's Sal Paolantonio.
Mike, the Ravens report that Ed Reed has a stinger in his right shoulder. His return to the game right now is questionable,
And
Mike.
he's right back in there. You see Ed Reed running back on the field. As soon as they cleared him on the sideline, he ran right past the coaches and into the game for this big down, 3rd and 3.
And this is where you really have to dig down. Elodie Nada, Brandon McKinney.
Wildcat again, guys. Jones-Drew at quarterback. Gabbard up at the top of the screen. They ran successfully out of this earlier. This one developed slower, and Ray Lewis, you got me once, not twice.
That's the best way to put it, Mike. They got Ray earlier in the game, and this time Ray Lewis sniffs that out. He knew it was coming before the ball was snapped. Take a look at Ray Lewis. That's just a form tackle. He's been doing it forever. And Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, has had plenty of time to talk to Joe Flacco about what they want to do in this 2-minute situation. There's no question they're going to go without a huddle, Ron.
They need the ball twice. 5.5 left as Nick Harris punts again. Lardarius Webb is back for Baltimore. Harris pinned him inside the 5 at the 1-yard line earlier. This time Webb takes the fair catch. Right around the 10. So the Ravens, who have 56 yards for the entire game, need to score twice to win. Sports Center when we're done here in Jacksonville. 5:22 left. Ravens have 2 timeouts, trailing 9-0. Averaging 1.5 yards a play. Flacco to Ed Dixon. Pushed out of bounds by Dewan Landry after Rashean Mathis hit him first.
The Jaguars are so comfortable with their secondary right now. They continue to bring pressure. You know, even with just this 9-0 lead, they feel they can get the Flacco and rattle him because that secondary has been so sharp.
Muddy coverages. It's a 2-deep shell and a different coverage on almost every single play.
Second and 5. Good get off the edge by John Chick, but the pass is complete to Ray Rice, and it's a first down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Boy, John Chick just exploded off the football. Comes down from Canada, makes his team in Jacksonville. He's been very, very effective as a pass rusher. Wow, did he come off the ball and get the heat on Flacco quickly.
Ravens need it twice. They're not pedal to metal with the offense here as time ticks to 4.5. Pocket collapsing. Flacco's throw contested for Torrey Smith with Rashean Mathis with a catch.
Contested. Every throw tonight that Flacco's had to make has been contested. The Jaguars continue to be all over the wide receivers of the Ravens. And, you know, John Chick last week played 12 snaps against Pittsburgh, had a sack and a forced fumble. He's getting more snaps tonight.
Second and 1. Roethlisberger, Flacco is complete to Dennis Pitta. I was thinking about Roethlisberger, Jaws, because you mentioned Chick. Chick not only forced a sack fumble, he actually brought Ben Roethlisberger down. If you watch the Arizona game yesterday, you know how hard that is for defenders. So this is an impact guy, pass rushing Flacco in this drive.
Mike, we're in the same boat. I tried to get Cam Newton in this thing, trying to get some offense going. You got Big Ben.
It's a dime defense. Jacksonville with one linebacker, Pusluzny. 6 defensive back. Here's another 4-man rush.
Flacco's throws complete to Ray Rice. Landry over there for the tackle, along with Derek Cox, yard shy of the first down. So this no huddle in 2 minutes.
These are all coming from the sidelines right now. Cam Cameron's called every one of these plays, from what I can see, slowing down the Ravens a little bit. They need to put the pedal to the metal and get going here. The clock is the enemy.
3.5 to go. Sideline toss too tall for Bolden. But incomplete. So John, let's go back here in a 2-minute situation, a no-huddle situation, with the communication from the play caller to the quarterback's helmet. How much are you in that quarterback's head telling him which play you want at that point?
Well, it all depends on where you are with your quarterback. I assume with Cam Cameron and Joe Flacco, the amount of time they've spent together, they've rehearsed this 1,000,000 times. Big third down is short. Man-to-man situation time.
I got it, Mike. I got it.
It's 3rd and a yard. Flacco got it out quick and got the first down. Vontae Leach, Ed Dixon, the tight end, shy of midfield. And we're getting close to the 3-minute mark now.
Got to pick this tempo up. A little bit lethargic right now for the Ravens.
And you could see that in Harbaugh. John doesn't like the tempo either.
Largo, Mike.
Flacco taking a shot toward Anquan Bolden. He gets tied up with Derek Cox, incomplete, 2:50 left.
That's too deep, man-to-man underneath. And once again, Derek Cox, I put a couple stars on the back of his helmet after his performance. He's done a great job, whether it be Bolden, Torrey Smith, Laquan Williams. Derek Cox has had a stellar performance tonight for the Jaguars.
Second and 10. Here is Flacco in trouble as he's been all night. Goes to the sideline for Dennis Pitta. The tight end's pushed out of bounds by John Chick, but it's a first down for Baltimore. For those of you just tuning in after the Rangers beat the Cardinals 4-2 to take a 3-2 series lead, the Baltimore Ravens, looking to get to 5-1, are being shut out. They haven't been shut out since 2002. John Gruden's first win as the Bucs head coach. Here they're being shut out by a 1-5 Jacksonville team that has lost its last 5. They have about as many yards on this drive as they've had all game. It's been one of the worst Baltimore offensive performances in years, but they're still in it. Pass incomplete for David Reed on the sideline. Rashean Mathis covering. John and Jaws, for the people just tuning over, what has it been about Jacksonville's defense that's made Baltimore's offense look so bad here tonight?
Well, I think number one, they've taken their wide receivers out of the game. They've got on the corner, you know, Rashean Mathis and Derek Cox have basically taken them out of the game. And, you know, Flacco's had small windows to throw into. Then, of course, the pass rush to the Jaguars has gotten Flacco's face. They're totally out of sync right now, the Ravens offense, because of that Jags defense.
2:37 to go. Joe Flacco. Ray Rice out of the backfield for the 30. First down, Rice near the 25 as we get close to the 2-minute warning.
Pass complete to Ray Rice.
Well, I just keep thinking of that Miami-Denver game yesterday where Tim Tebow and the Denver Offs did nothing all game until the last few minutes. Let's see if we could have that kind of finish here.
2:14 left. Flacco, sideline toss, and he held on to it. What a catch by Torrey Smith as he got nailed over at the 4-yard line.
I didn't think the Jaguars were ready on defense. Flacco snapped that ball quickly and threw it in the hole between the corner and his safety. Let's see if he got them both in.
It doesn't matter because Jacksonville doesn't have any challenges. They've used them all, but as you see the second foot come down there, Smith is shaken up on the play, and timeout is called for the medical staff to come out. Both feet down, took the ball to the ground, and holds on as he tumbles through. Off the hit from Dwight Lowry coming over from the safety spot. But no matter what, rule the catch on the field. Jacksonville's out of challenges. First and goal, Ravens at the 5. Baltimore beat Pittsburgh week 1, 35-7. They've had that length lead on the Steelers throughout. Cincinnati off to its good start. Cleveland at 500. The only loss by Baltimore was to Tennessee. That on the road in Nashville. Now they're trying not to lose in Jacksonville. Their best drive, their only drive of the night. The Ravens didn't have a first down until 5 minutes or so in the third quarter. They can get within 2 here. Flacco over the top. Back of the end zone. Bolden. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Before the 2 minutes. It's the post pattern. They motion to an empty backfield, and Bolden runs a post pattern. Beats Lowry, gets both feet in. Great drive by the Ravens after a night of a lot of tough times.
So the extra point attempt for Billy Cundiff after the 13-play, 90-yard drive. The Ravens only had 56 yards before that drive for the whole night. And it's a 9-7 game at the 2:02 mark. So perhaps the Ravens were watching the World Series game.
Maybe, yeah.
Once the game ended, they'd kick it in. Now they've got an onside kick decision to make, but first let's look at the touchdown.
Well, they motion Ray Rice out to the weak side, and you're just going to see Anquan Bolden run a post pattern against Lowry. Beats him over the top. Great throw by Flacco. Now, right here, if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm thinking I'm going to tell Billy Cundiff, who's the best kickoff guy in the league. He had 7 touchbacks last week. Kick this ball out of the stadium. Will put Jacksonville on their own 20 before the 2-minute drill, Mike. And I have 2 timeouts left. I really believe Cundiff is going to put this ball out of the field of play, and they're going to make Jacksonville play offense and give themselves a chance to get the ball back with a field goal opportunity to win.
Inside of 5 minutes in the game on a kickoff, the clock starts when the ball was touched by a returner. If you're thinking the math of it on the Baltimore end, if you kick away and don't onside kick, if you stop them and use your timeouts properly, you should get the ball back with about 56 seconds or so left on the clock. Hands team on for Jacksonville. Cundiff will go the onside kick. It's loose. It didn't go 10 yards. Touched by Nakamura. Let's see. I thought it took the backwards bounce before it hit the 10-yard spot, or did it hit the spot? Now the flag is thrown. Baltimore cannot touch the ball until it travels 10. Now let's watch this second bounce here, guys. Right here at the 44.7 yard line. He almost kicked it too perfectly.
Great catch by Nakamura.
6 inches further, and it's
right.
Ravens ball. Yeah. Talk about a game of inches.
He would have traveled 10 yards and then come back to him. And the conversation continues on the sideline with all but one of the officiating crew, 6 of the 7.
This is where you're in the game. You're Jacksonville. Protect the ball. And Maurice Jones-Drew, who has struggled tonight, got to really emphasize that right here.
The kicking team player touched and ultimately recovered the ball short of 10 yards. That's illegal touching. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the dead ball spot. First down, Jacksonville.
Kind of surprised they didn't kick that ball out of here with Billy Cundiff. But right now, the Ravens are going to get a clock stoppage at the 2-minute drill, and then they have 2 timeouts left, so obviously critical that they stop Jacksonville immediately.
You got to believe John Harbaugh didn't kick it deep because he felt he had a really good onside kick, and it was about 6 inches from being perfect.
And Jacksonville is in field goal range because Josh Scobie has made 2 field goals from 54 yards, which is about where it would be right now. Can they not lose yardage? Jones drew the carry, gets a couple of yards as we get to the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning here in Jacksonville comes at 1:57. Second down coming up when you come back. Plots tonight, the parallel careers of the guys who've been told they were too small to be the running backs and do almost everything for their teams. Pass, catch it, run it. Ray Rice, Maurice Jones-Drew. Rice has had a really bad night in terms of his productivity. He's put it on the ground. Jones-Drew fumbled 3 times, really fumbled almost a 4th time, but replay cleaned that up. Still, he has come back to average nearly 4 carry, go over 100 yards here tonight. Jacksonville leads by 2 with 1:57 and Baltimore 2 timeouts.
Baltimore in an all-out run-stop situation. Last play, they took the free safety out of the middle of the field. Here he comes again.
2nd and 8, back to Jones-Drew protecting it as he goes inside. And the Ravens try to pull at it with Brandon McKinney, and a stop here for that second used timeout at 1:52 remaining. Just a couple of rule points on that onside kick. As we mentioned, if it would have touched the 45-yard line, then it would have been eligible to be recovered, even though it bounced backwards because it will have covered the 10 yards. And the reason that the clock doesn't start there, as I mentioned before the kick, inside the last 5 minutes of the game, on a kickoff, it starts when the ball is touched by the returning team. So by not being touched by Jacksonville, it preserved a couple of seconds on the good side of the 2-minute warning for the Ravens and allows them to use their timeouts to maximize a little more time on the clock here.
Well, Mike, now you get in a situation here. If you don't get positive yards, it's a long field goal attempt.
Reminder, GMC postgame coming up on SportsCenter after the game. 3rd and 7. Jones-Drew right up the middle again to the 33. So the field goal will be about 51 yards as Baltimore uses that final timeout at 1:48. And the difference of not having the receiving team touch the ball on that onside kickoff was it stayed on the other side of the 2-minute warning and preserved 40 seconds
I would
for Baltimore.
have kicked the ball out of the end zone, as I said earlier. And you know, the question is right now, Scobie, if he misses this field goal, if he misses this field goal, I know he's kicked 2 of them for 54 yards. He's 17 for 27. I have the stats. But if he misses this, the Ravens get the ball at the 42-yard line with more than enough time left. So I'm sure Jim Harbaugh was thinking that too. He's counting on Scobie missing this field goal.
This is a 51-yard field goal attempt for Scobie for his 3rd 50-plus of the night. Off the edge, he almost got there for the block, but Scobie nails a 3rd 50-plus yarder. And it's a 5-point Jaguar lead.
And Scobie has been just unbelievable with these kicks. I mean, they are right down the middle. And these are long field goals. And, of course, the Ravens came with an all-out kick block. Didn't get there. But you watch Scobie drive this ball through. Good snap, good hold, and almost Ladarius Webb around that corner. Almost got there. But, wow, look at this thing right down the middle. Scobie's been remarkable tonight.
At 3 50-yarders in one game, tying an NFL record for Josh Scobie here tonight.
Well, the Jaguars are going to have to kick the ball, and you're going to give Joe Flacco plenty of time to make something happen with his arm. This Raven offensive line pass protected very well the last time they had the ball. They just took it 80 yards down the field against this Jaguar defense in the last possession, but they're going to have to really speed things up in this sequence.
Well, the kick return and the kick coverage teams critical right now. The Ravens would like to bring this one out and get some good field position. Of course, Scobie'd like to put this one through the uprights again.
I would. David Reed led the NFL last year with 29.3 returns. He took one back against the Houston Texans. Reed is dangerous.
Scobie ran up to kick it. The play clock was running down to 1 second there, as Scobie was running up to kick it. And I don't know what happened here. Why we got a whistle? We get a timeout. The play clock resets for kickoffs. I don't know if Jacksonville was late getting out of their huddle, late getting organized. And John Harbaugh wants to know why would you just have a whistle blow there?
He's certainly like a penalty.
5 yards would be great. You saw Scobie's touchback numbers tonight, and he has 13 already on the season.
How about the confidence Jack Del Rio has shown in Scobie?
Yeah.
I don't think he was going to kick that first field goal. Scobie talked him into it. Now Jack Del Rio
The
says,
kicking team
okay.
now has 11 players.
Wow, and John Harbaugh has every reason to be on the field and furious. The kicking team has 11 players. What, we give them a chance to, get set? This isn't the playground, it's the pros. You have every reason to be perturbed by that. That's ridiculous. Are you ready now, boys? Okay, here we go. 1:43 left.
Scobie. He almost kicked it through the uprights.
And you'd want certainly a 5-yard penalty would give you a chance to get Reed's hands on it,
Well, it's been an ugly football game in a lot of ways, but the Ravens have won a lot of ugly football games in the last decade. Here's a chance for Joe Flacco to do something really special in the 2-minute drill. He has the people around him that can make plays. Jacksonville's got to be careful with Ray Rice in this situation. He can really hurt you out of the backfield and after the catch.
No timeouts, 1:43 left. Got to score to win for Baltimore. Flacco, first throw for Bolden, incomplete. Try to slide it in that area between the zone coverage.
Yeah, that's just a real good job by the Jacksonville secondary. They just squeeze that window down. Really tight window. You'll see Bolden come off, burst to the inside. Nothing there. Cox does a real nice job of expanding and giving Flacco no room to put that ball in.
A lot of time. We're going to have to check the ball down to Ray Rice against a lot of this loose Jacksonville zone defense.
Flacco, good pocket, intercepted. Drew Coleman goes down, and the Ravens go down. We have after the play flags thrown as Marshall Yonda or Matt Burke and Matt Roth got involved. Let's see what the calls will be here, but it looked to be anything was post-possession.
Well, that's how you play that Tampa 2 coverage. Drew Coleman just stole the ball. Puslesny goes right down the middle, and watch Drew Coleman just read Flacco's eyes and steal this from the Baltimore Ravens. That's how you play that coverage. Yeah. Those outside linebackers, all they do are read the quarterback's eyes. Puslesny protects him down the middle.
Looking lean, John. Looking at backfield, lean to the quarterback's look and jump the football.
I give Jack Del Rio, his coaching staff, a lot of credit. Nobody thought this was going to happen tonight.
Well, we were out of practice on Saturday, and I'll tell you what, they had a lot of enthusiasm for a team that had lost 5 games in a row. They were enjoying playing football. They had a good feeling. Sometimes it doesn't always turn out that way, but they were enjoying practice and enjoying getting ready for the national stage of Monday Night Football.
Well, you just don't know what can happen this year in the National Football League. I heard all the critics talking about Tim Tebow all yesterday and tonight.
Well, Jack Del Rio, we mentioned, guys, under the heat, a team that had to turn it around or else this year, got his defense to come up and play against a Ravens offense that had been scoring nearly 30 points a game, 5th in the league. We asked the question at the very top, this is the part of the Ravens that had held them back year after year. Did they have enough offense? Boy, it looked it against the Jets and the Steelers, but tonight, Jacksonville's defense erased the Baltimore offensive effort as Gabbert takes a knee, and he's one snap away from his first NFL win. You know, they had David Garrard as their starting quarterback 5 days before the season opener. They cut him, start veteran Luke McCown for a couple of games, and then go to Gabbert. And Del Rio said, hey, we knew the pressure was on this year as a staff. It was a big year for us, and we didn't want to turn to a rookie quarterback. He lost his first 4 as a starter, but he's got his first win on Monday Night Football.
And Mike, Gabbert did not turn the football over. That's all you can ask your quarterback against a great defense. Do not give them opportunities.
They're going to have to get some offense, though. They're not going to win many games throwing for 90 yards, but you are right. He protected the ball. Congratulations on your first NFL victory, but they got to pick it up offensively, and I think we all agree on that.
It's a heck of a deal for Blaine Gabbert. We can shake the hand of Ray Lewis the first time you're on the field on a defense with future Hall of Famers like Lewis and Reed and the leaders like Nata and Suggs, and you beat the Baltimore defense for win number 1. Jacksonville snaps its 5-game slide. They are now 2-5. They go to Houston, and Jacksonville's only 2 games out in the AFC South. The Ravens fall to 4-2, and they get Arizona next week. Our final score tonight, Jacksonville 12, Baltimore 7. Next Monday night, the AFC West leads on the line, San Diego and Kansas City at Arrowhead. With Jaws, Coach Gruden, Sal Palantonio, Mike Tirico. Good night from Jacksonville.